The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Blessman International, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
I think it's had a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Waukee Northwest High School here in Waukee, Iowa. It's game 4, week 4 of the Iowa high school football season on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Hemmedale alongside with Matt Mandring and Brian Morris as we get set for Dowling and Waukee Northwest. Gentlemen, a very warm night as we're waiting in the shade to set in the visitor press box here as we're looking right into the sun, but welcome. It's Waukee Northwest homecoming. We'll be followed up with next week's Dowling homecoming. Mr. Mandring?
Yes, it's always, an adventure when you're going into the opponent's stadium and playing homecoming. As a coach, you always want to say, well, they picked you for a reason, because they feel they can get a win. And I don't know if that always happens with Dowling anymore, but you pick a date and you go with it. It can be a lot of distraction for the kids and stuff like that, but in the end, when the lights come on, you kick it off. It's just another ball game.
It certainly is, and this will be a good one. Dowling has won every game. Waukee Northwest started in the fall of 2021, and Dowling has played them. This will be the 5th time. The Maroons are 4-0 against the Wolves. But in both teams, actually Waukee Northwest coming off a win last week, got their first win of the year. They played last week ago Thursday against Des Moines Roosevelt and picked up the win as the Wolves won over there at Mediacom Stadium by the score of 56-13. But before that, losing to crosstown rival Waukee, and their first game of the year losing to Johnson, a couple of teams in the top 10. And Brian Morris, Dowling coming off their first loss of the year in a game we had on Iowa Catholic Radio last Friday night, a loss to Ankeny at your favorite place, the Ankeny Stadium.
Yeah, the one thing thinking about last week, Dowling could just not get into any sort of rhythm, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And whatever Ankeny defense did, it's all on film, right? So Northwest was watching that all week just to see how they can disrupt this Dowling offense, because my prediction last week, I was horrible with my predictions because I thought Rashad Davis would come out and have a 200-yard game, but they really kept him in check last week.
Yeah, they certainly did, at least after the initial first quarter where the Maroons responded and took the lead, but that didn't last long. Matt, for Dowling, it was a inconsistency. They couldn't get anything sustained, and we'll hear from Matt, our head coach, Tom Wilson later, but it was just being inconsistent at the wrong times last week. And then when you have a big play, it's called back because of penalty.
That's what I was going to go back to. A lot of times inconsistency and not getting into a rhythm happens because you have penalties, and penalties do nothing but disrupt your offensive flow, your offensive rhythm. There were a couple big plays that they got chunk yardage on, if it's 15 yards or 10 yards, and they came back. And so it just when you run up against that wall over and over again, it's tough, especially for a young group up front, to overcome.
Yeah, and sometimes, as we saw in the first 2 games, that young group, the inexperience and the young group up front, it didn't happen during the Valley game, didn't happen during the Cedar Rapids County game too much. It happened last week, and Ankeny exposed that, especially in the second half, and that's why you have practice. It that gives you something to work at practice, and I'm sure the Maroons took care of that this week.
It'll be interesting to see, in their 4-man front that Waukee Northwest uses, there's not a lot of stunting out of it, but watching the game last week, they may say, we're going to send a couple extra dudes here and there because the offensive line for Dowling didn't adjust very well.
Other games going on tonight across Class 5A district football. Number 1 Waukee at number 4 West Des Moines Valley. These are all 7 o'clock kickoffs. 10th ranked Southeast Polk at Ankeny Centennial. Ankeny is at number 9 Johnston. Dubuque Senior is at Urbandale, and both Johnston and Urbandale having their homecomings tonight, along with Waukee Northwest out here in Waukee. Lincoln takes on Des Moines North. That game going on at the Drake Mediacom Stadium. Des Moines East travels to Council Bluffs, takes on Council Bluffs Lincoln. Roosevelt at Ames, Marshalltown at Newton, and Ottumwa at Oskaloosa. Brian Morris, take a look tonight. You've got the Dowling offense against Waukee Northwest defense, and I asked Coach Wilson, we had a quarterback change in the second half, and he's going to talk a little bit more about that. But a lot of things, just trying to get a spark in the second half. And, Brian, you called it on the sideline, just looking for that enthusiasm. But the kids were waiting for somebody out there to make a play, and actually it all starts in the stands and on the sideline.
Yeah, and I said it last week. It just felt like there was just lack of that oomph last week on the field. And they did look for a spark in the second half. It didn't come. But again, you think about Ankeny's a good football team. They were ranked number 1 to start the preseason. They had 2 good games. So every week in and week out, the Maroons are playing really good teams. So it's a badge of honor, I guess, to say if you get a loss, because all you can do is improve on it. But yeah, defensively, the Wolves are going to come out in a 4-man front, like Matt said, and they don't do a lot of stunning, but you're right. I think after watching that film last week, they are going to do some stunning to try and disrupt this offense. I still think Rashad Davis has to be the key, because once you get that running game going, it just opens up the passing game for the Maroons. And, I think last week we saw that the passing game, it was just out of sync a little bit. The receivers and the quarterback just weren't in line. It felt like a lot of passes were just off. So I look for improvements this week, because as you said, Mark, you had a week of practice.
Rashad Davis last week, 30 carries, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So not a bad game statistically, but the second half, Dowling was held to a field goal. So we'll see. And that all came halftime adjustments. And if you don't make what your opponent's making adjustments, you don't. The Maroons have done that to so many people during their long stretch of fortune. It happened to them a little bit maybe last Friday night, Brian.
And I thought that the two-headed monster of Middleton and Davis would be wear down that Ankeny defense. But Ankeny, I have to give them credit. They played a really good football game last week.
All right, Matt Maindring tonight, Waukee Northwest, and their offense taking on Dowling's defense. And Northwest has a 3-year starter at quarterback, and he's a good one, and that's a lot to be reckoned with. But he's got some pretty good targets out there. Mac Heitland's a quarterback, a sophomore, and he played a lot last year as a freshman, now in his sophomore year. But Ryan Woodruff and Nick Macbeth, their right guard, are the only 2 remaining starters from a year ago. Got a move in Isaiah Oliver. People out there might remember Dean Oliver played at Mason City in Iowa. That's his son. And he moved from Wisconsin here, and he's a great receiver and just a sophomore. And, of course, Jordan Green, who's caught 3 touchdown passes along with Oliver. So more of a passing threat, especially with a sophomore quarterback that Coach Kapatich really has his eyes set on, that he's handed him the keys to the car.
Yeah, Heitland's a good quarterback, and it is a young offense from the skill position standpoint. And, when you're looking at a couple sophomores, 3 juniors, and the tight end, Gavin Schaller, is the only senior out there. But Heitland, he's thrown 10 touchdowns already now, 6 of those against Roosevelt last week, where he's done a consistent job. The one thing he doesn't do, that if Dowling, he doesn't turn the ball over. He's got no interceptions on the year, and so he takes care of the ball. They're not going to make mistakes that way. He's thrown for 718 yards, 50 of 65. He's also run for 64 yards, so he's not afraid to take off with it. And then Woodruff has run for 237 yards and 3 touchdowns. And James has run for has a couple carries of 39 yards. But Oliver has 214 yards in the air receiving. Jordan Green is the one that has been the hookup for Mac Heitland, and that's 13 catches, 3 touchdowns, 239 yards. So, and with Jackson Miller out, it was a late scratch for the Maroons. That's gonna. I don't know if Schumacher's going to fill that role, Kyle Schumacher, the junior, or how that's going to work. And Barretto's a little dinged up, and so that baside's going to get tested a little bit by Heitland, and we'll see how they are able to do that. And the key will be, can they get pressure on him? Last week, they didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and he had time to sit back there and throw, and I think we'll see something different tonight. And,
gentlemen, but final thoughts before we go to head coach Tom Wilson. You look at the stats. Dowling has forced 2 turnovers defensively, 2, and they've both been fumbles, and the guy that forced them both was Jackson Miller, and he will not play tonight. So nobody on the Dowling defense has forced a turnover regarding a fumble or an interception. For Waukee Northwest, Jack Vineyard, their defensive end, he's forced 1 fumble. That is all they've forced. So both defenses looking to talk about a spark, Brian Morris. Force a turnover, and that'll get the whole crowd into it. Or even I was looking at sacks. Dowling has 4 sacks this year. Again, I say only 4 sacks. That's not a Dowling football team. Usually they have 3 or 4 a game. So it just feels like
maybe the conservatism. The Dowling just needs to come out and just play football and do your job and make things happen. I think that's what we got to look for.
Yeah, it's a bend don't break defense, and it is something. If you don't gamble, you're not going to create turnovers a lot of time, and so it's a little bit of what do you do, because you want to take your shots when you can and try to make something happen. And I think you'll see Coach Jack do that a little bit tonight. He's going to, all of a sudden we're going to see someone coming off an edge and trying to create something on the backside.
I kind of remember the Titans when the coach says blitz all night long. I want to see somebody coming at that quarterback all night long, coming from a defense.
But as a defensive coordinator, no, because as soon as you send one, that means you got a hole somewhere.
Yeah, I know. As a linebacker, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And just keep in mind, Mr. Morris, the Dowling defense got snake bit on the third play of the game last week.
Right.
They went over the top. So
you're right.
Defensive coordinator has that in his mind. All right, you're listening to the pregame show. We're live from Waukee Northwest High School alongside Matt Maindring and Brian Morris. Mark Hamadale, glad you could join us on a very warm night. Temperature up in the lower 80s. A slight breeze that we're not feeling here in the press box. You know what? Coming up next, head coach Tom Wilson. I had a conversation with him about tonight's game, Dowling and Waukee Northwest. Dowling with the record of 2-1, ranked third this week in Class 5A, and Waukee Northwest comes in with a record of 1-2. We'll return after this 1 minute break. More pregame on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Mercy One is proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Mercy One has convenient locations right in your neighborhood. From unexpected illnesses to regular checkups, Mercy One is here for you. Schedule online at mercyone.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for programming is provided by construction professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Thank you for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Did you know when you support Iowa Catholic Radio, you can make your donation go farther by asking your employer about matching gifts? Ask your employer about matching gifts, and thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Starting week 4 of the Iowa High School football season, Dowling at Waukee Northwest here at Waukee Northwest High School. Mark Hamadale joined by head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. The Maroons come in with the record of 2-1, Waukee Northwest 1-2. Coach, thanks for joining us. Didn't get a chance to talk to you much in the post game because of the communication issue we had with our neighbors of TV 13 with disrupting our communication. But hey, best of luck tonight, and thanks for all you do.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Well, Coach, last week, Dowling and Ankeny, what a game it was. Tied at halftime at 13, and Hawks scoring the final minute and 15 seconds to win it by 7. But, Coach, what a game it was, and it was a great matchup. Two of the better teams in the state. And I know you came out on the short end, but what a battle, what a physical game we saw.
It was tough game for us. We didn't particularly play well, and that's 2 games in a row versus Ankeny, and you've got to give them a lot of credit. Defensively, they caused us some issues, and we just have to get better and sustain things a lot more. And there's just a lot of things, but good football game, and we have to learn from it and move on.
What are some of the positives you picked out of that game, Coach? You look at the score, and, you lost, you move on, and you play Northwest tonight. But what are some of the positives you found out of that game? You can always talk about the negative stuff. What's some of the positives?
But truthfully, defensively, we played well enough to win. We didn't give our defense very many good situations, and we went for it on 4th down a couple of times, didn't make it. We overthrow a receiver that's open deep. There's a lot of things there that we can do better at, and hopefully, we get the opportunity to do that and make some plays when it matters.
Well, you look in the score sheet, and you held Ankeny to 3 field goals, and I realize they had that big bomb to start the game, the 3rd play from scrimmage, the 6-7-yard touchdown from Anderson to Brandhorst, but the other touchdown came with 1:15 to go in the contest. But in between, 3 field goals, very similar to the Valley game where they get empty in Dowling's red zone, and thus you were talking about the defense stepping up.
They did, and I think when you do that, you've got to feel good about where you're at defensively. I think the big thing that they did is, they played a bunch of tempo and tried to play as fast as they possibly could, and with our youth and lack of depth, that's not a bad game plan. And I thought it took its toll. And, you look at kids like Ian or you look at Carter Smith, we didn't play them as much in the second half on both sides of the ball. And that had a lot to do with the tempo and heat and those types of things. So we've got to continue to develop talent. We've got to get better. And I think we can do that yet. And we got beat by a good football team. And the only problem is there's another one in front of us. So you get your self dusted off and get ready to play the next week.
No question, Coach. This is with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic before tonight's game, Dowling and Waukee Northwest. And, Coach, I know in the second half, at least there was, I saw the quarterback changes like, you're going to get a spark with Joey Nahas coming in and playing quarterback. And, thought it was an injury situation, but it was just, the type of game maybe another quarterback would give you the spark.
That's exactly what we were trying to do, is just try something else, and Joey can throw it around a little bit. Part of the problem was Joey wasn't given a lot of time to throw it around a little bit. I think he ended up being 6 of 11 and things like that. But bottom line is we have to execute better as a team. It's not just the quarterback position or anything like that. It's really all of us.
Hey, Coach, we broke down tape. What are some of the guys maybe we missed on the radio? I know it was a long night for the offense, but your team grounded out, played one of the top teams in the state. What are some of the positive, some of the players that we may have missed?
As I mentioned, defensively, and they were a little bit banged up and kept fighting, and I really thought, if you look at kids like Ducharme and Barreto and I thought Parker Pearson played a very good game. They went at him a few different times, and he kept answering the bell. And Parker's a good player, and I just think as a whole we have to continue to evolve, and I think they will. And losing stinks, but sometimes you learn some of your best lessons.
This is with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game, Dowling and Waukee Northwest here at Northwest High School in Waukee. This is Mark Hamadale. I'll return with Coach Wilson. We'll preview tonight's matchup with the Waukee Northwest Wolves after these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Dowling on the road this week, week 4 of the high school football season. Dowling at Waukee Northwest. Mark Hamadale now joined by head coach Tom Wilson as we preview tonight's matchup with the Waukee Northwest Wolves. And coach, taking on a Wolves team that under Coach Kapatich, they're coming in with a record of 1-2. And they got their first win last Thursday night against Roosevelt. So they got an extra day of rest. Probably had a lot to actually watch your game with Ankeny in person. But talk about the matchup tonight and Dowling's bounce back after last week's loss at Ankeny. Talk a little bit about the Wolves and what the matchups are.
Good team. They can be explosive offensively. They've got a couple of good receivers, good running back, young quarterback that can move around. I think the big thing is the Oliver kid moved in late, started playing game 2. He's had 200-yard receiving ball games. He's going to be a handful for us. Watching him on tape, you can tell that he's been coached well wherever he was at before. I think he was in Wisconsin, and he's going to be. He certainly has our attention. Defensively, always very solid under Coach Kapatic, and I think it's less hectic than what you see out of an Ankeny and things like that, but yet very solid and very fundamentally sound.
Well, I know they returned 2 starters on each side of the ball, so they don't have a lot of experience. And you mentioned earlier, a few games ago, that Dowling had the least experience in your 20 years here. Well, they have least experience. They just started here, 4 or 5 years ago as a team. But Ryan Woodruff and Caleb James come back as their tailbacks, and Nick Macbeth, who's on the offensive line, is their only returning starters offensively. And then Andrew Eastman at safety and Jack Vineyard, Coach Kapatic's nephew, starts on the defense side. So a very young team. I don't know how much depth they have, but it sounds like 2 similar teams.
Good team. Vineyard's a good player. He really is. His younger brother's playing an outside linebacker. The Eastman kid that you mentioned that played a year ago, I thought he was a good player a year ago. And again, they opened with Johnston, and then they kind of got into a shootout with Waukee, and both of those teams are good football teams. And then, they put it to Roosevelt pretty well. So it'll be a great challenge for us. And again, we have to strap it up and get ready to be into a 4-quarter ball game.
Well, you go from some teams that have put 3 down linemen with hands down. Now you go to a 4-2-5 or a 4-3-4 defense. Any changes for your offense? I know you're looking for them to bounce back, especially the offensive line, the very young team that they are.
Yeah, we just have to establish ourselves, and we can. We just got to get into a rhythm, and I feel like it seems like we had a couple long runs the other night, and then we have a penalty, and that's the stuff that needs to be eliminated, and those are game changers.
Yeah, they certainly are, Coach. Keys tonight for the Maroons. What were you telling your kids that are the key tonight to beat Waukee Northwest, a team that you haven't lost to since they started their program? I think you're 4-0 against them, but your thoughts on that?
I think it's the same thing as at the line of scrimmage. We have to contain the quarterback and the big pass plays. We have to establish our running game, and that opens up our pass game. And, we threw quite a bit the other night, and I think, we're going to be more balanced, and that's just kind of what Dowling Catholic football is going to be there. But we got to complete some of those deep balls.
All right, Coach. Thanks for joining us here on the pregame show. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Head coach Tom Wilson joined me on the pregame show. This is Mark Amadale. Coming up, Matt Mandring and Brian Morris will return to the broadcast. This is Mark Amadale here on the pregame show on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Most of us can recall a childhood memory of innocence and a peace that only comes from God. Yet with our busy schedules today, many families don't attend church weekly or spend much time teaching their children about God. So many families now are burdened by financial and family challenges, substance abuse, and other worries. But there is hope. Studies show that people who pray regularly and practice their Christian faith are less stressed, financially stable, more compassionate, optimistic, healthier, and happier. Experience a positive difference in your life and for your family by coming home to your parish. Learn more by visiting CatholicsComeHome.org today. Here you may find answers to your questions and discover how Jesus and the sacraments will bless your family. There's no pressure or risk. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today.
Brady Grimm is back on Iowa Catholic Radio, playing the music on a Friday night. Getting ready for the Dowling homecoming next week, maybe. This is the kind of music we'll hear. I doubt that.
I don't know.
Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, Brian Morris has made their way to the field. Dowling and Waukee Northwest, welcome back. Very warm night, our warmest night of the year. 85 degrees at kickoff. Southeast wind at 5 miles per hour, but humidity, it's a dry heat, just 35%. But we feel it here in the press box.
Yeah.
And, Matt, what a night it is. It's Waukee Northwest homecoming. Don't take anything into that. Every time you have a 2-year schedule, you got to flip your homecoming because the following year you're going to be on the road, and that's what happened with Northwest. Right. And Dowling's homecoming is next Friday night.
I mean, who do you pick?
Exactly.
When we look at ours, too, you're looking at games, and then you don't want them too early because it's hard to get ready for as school, and you want it somewhere in the end of September, October. So It's crazy to think that it's the Week 4 game already. It feels like Week 1 weather-wise. And usually when you get to Week 4, we're not going to have to worry about guys getting, little heat issues out there. They're going to have to stay hydrated and rotations. And I think that showed last week.
Yeah, I was concerned for our partner on the field, Mr. Morris. He has his big class reunion next week during Dowling's homecoming. How coincidental, Brian Morris.
Yeah.
And we were concerned that you'd stay hydrated enough.
I need to stay hydrated this week for next weekend, guys.
That is right.
Yeah. No, and the weather down here, it is kind of still. There's no wind, so that feeling you guys have in the press box, there's a little bit of, but it's still kind of heavy down here.
Yeah, and we got about 5 minutes before kickoff according to the play clock, and it is, as you look at, Brian, you're going to have a new coach on the field. Jimmy Cataldo, the first time in 20-some years, will be on the sidelines, and Craig McLean is up here with us, so kind of a trade with the coaching staff at Dowling.
Yeah, again, it gives a different perspective, right? Because when you're used to being on the field and you see the game, it's a lot different being in the press box, good or bad. I sometimes like being in your guys' angle because you can see the plays develop and things like that better.
Yeah, but you can see their eyes coming off the field, and if they're gassed or not, if they're, playing with a little bit of energy or not.
True.
You see that, Brian.
Very true.
Yeah, I think for Coach McLean, he wants to get a look at his quarterbacks and try to get a read for what they're seeing. And it's hard to do that down the field. And when you get up here and you get elevated, you can see how the field is breaking down and what the quarterbacks are reading. And I see why they wanted to switch. And Coach McLean's been doing it a long time. So, and he's built a lot of great quarterbacks.
Yes, he has. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Blessman International, and Bose and the Florist. Reminder, the Iowa Catholic Radio Fall Fundraiser is coming up October 1st to the 4th. At Iowa Catholic Radio Fall Fundraiser, special programming highlighting the very best of local and national educators, apologists, and evangelizers. And feel free to donate. You can donate now, iowacatholicradio.com. Just hit the donate button. Your tax-deductible donation is appreciated. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups for Dowling Catholic. The offensive line, they're going with the same lineup. One freshman, 2 sophomores, a junior, and a senior. They'll start at left tackle, Carter Barrett. He is a freshman, 6'5", 250-pound, wearing number 77. The left guard is Brady Hagan, 6'2", 250-pound sophomore, wearing number 63 at left guard. The center is Carter Smith, wearing number 52, a 6'1", 235-pound senior. And Cade Kraus, number 58, a sophomore, 5'10", 230-pound right guard. The right tackle is Josh Miller, 6'3", 265-pound junior, wearing number 65. Again, right tackle Josh Miller for Dowling Catholic. Receivers, Jack Barrett wearing number 6, 5'11", 175-pound senior. The other receiver is Sam Drexler, a 6', 170-pound junior, wearing number 3. Trey Wilson, number 15, a 5'8", 170-pound senior. And Jake Scow, wearing number 1, a 6', 180-pound senior. He'll also play a little bit of free safety as Will Bonetto is shaken up. Rashad Davis is a tailback tonight. It's 5'10", 180-pound senior, wearing number 24. Fullback is Ian Middleton, 5'9", 215-pound junior, wearing number 5. And the quarterback, Parker DePhillips, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, wearing number 9. That's a look at the Dowling offensive starters. Up next, let's take a look at before our game tonight, our pregame prayer with Father Reed Flood, and our opening statement from Dr. Dan Ryan. He is the president of Dowling Catholic High School. We'll get his opening statement coming up next. It's Dowling and Waukee Northwest. The teams are on the field. The captains are about to go to the center of the field for the coin toss. We'll take a break and come back. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan and our pregame prayer with Father Reed Flood on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
And welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School here in Waukee, Iowa. It's week 4 of the high school football season. Dowling and Waukee Northwest. The Maroons are ranked 3rd this week in Class 5A as they dropped a couple spots from the number 1 ranking due to the loss to Ankeny High School last Friday night. Let's take a look at our rankings in Class 5A. Waukee is the new number 1 team. They're undefeated at 3-0, and they are traveling to number 4 Valley tonight. Ankeny Centennial comes in at number 2. They're also undefeated at 3-0. They are hosting Southeast Polk tonight at Ankeny. Dowling at 3, Valley at 4. Bettendorf comes in at number 5. Linmar is at number 6 this week. Pleasant Valley 7th. Cedar Falls 8th. Cedar Rapids Prairie 9th. And Southeast Polk is 10th in Class 5A as the 6 out of the top 10 teams in the state are from the Central Iowa Metro League. Again, other games going on tonight. Waukee at Valley. Southeast Polk at Ankeny Centennial. Ankeny at Johnston. Other games have Dubuque Senior at Urbandale. Des Moines East at Council Bluffs Lincoln. Lincoln of Des Moines taking on Des Moines North at Mediacom Stadium at Drake. Marshalltown at Newton and Ottumwa at Oskaloosa. All right, coin flip has been done. And Dowling will kick off. Brian Morris, give us the field conditions on this 85-degree night.
You know, a big crowd here tonight, especially for Waukee. They have the homecoming. They brought out a few honorary captains from the teams last year, but their side is very full tonight. The Maroon side, decently full. The students are starting to come in. Not as big of a area for our students to go, but a great atmosphere for high school football.
All right, Marty's
got a little bit of feel of that.
It does feel like I'm watching
all the zip bang around here.
Yeah, the scoreboards, everything. It feels so collegey.
Yeah.
Marty Blunt set the kickoff. Dowling defending the south end zone. They go left to right in front of us as we're on the east side of the stadium. And the ball is fielded by one of the upbacks. It's Jordan Green for Northwest. He picks it up at the 20 and carries it about the 30-31-yard line. That's where the Wolves will start 1st and 10. They'll go right to left. We're in their home blue uniforms and white trim, white numbers. Dowling in their road white uniforms and bottoms, white helmets, and maroon numbers. So that sets the stage here on this 85-degree night. Southeast wind at 5 miles per hour, so the wind won't be a factor, neither will the humidity. And let's take a look at the Waukee Northwest and their offense. Starting at quarterback, Mac Heitland, 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore, and he'll send 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On play action, back to throw. He wants it all. Throwing downfield, and the pass is incomplete as Isaiah Oliver was the intended receiver. And who did they pick on right away? Parker Pearson, who stepped up against Ankeny last week.
Yeah,
Matt.
Parker Pearson. I don't know why you want to keep picking on him because he's been solid in coverage, and he was right in the hip pocket. He's doing exactly with the way he is coached to play that. You stay in that front pocket of the offensive receiver, and they kind of hand fight on the way down and breaks it up. 2nd down and long.
2nd and long from their own 31-yard line is where Northwest of that. Here's the snap. They give it to the tailback, and that is Woodruff. Who has 237 yards and 3 touchdowns, averages about 5 yards a carry. He carries it maybe for a couple. And I'm going to put it down right at a gain of 1 up to the 32-yard line. 3rd and 9 coming up.
That front of Bobo Smith, Pins, and Middleton did a good job there of creating a pile, and Dylan Manning came in there and met Woodruff right at the line of scrimmage, and Dylan Manning's going to win that battle.
Ryan Bobo, Carter Smith, Owen Pins, Ian Middleton, as you mentioned. The front 4 for Dowling. Jackson Miller out tonight for Dowling. Aiden Ducharme, Dylan Manning, Joel Elsenko. And now a quick pass to the sideline is caught for a short team. They're going to get him out of bounds where? They're going to wave it off?
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. Incomplete.
So it's 4th down. Great job by the Dowling defense. And, Matt, we're going to try to see who was that other linebacker.
Kyle Schumacher. Gets the start. Yeah, he did get the start for Jackson Miller. And they rolled him to the right side of the field, the short side of the field. He ran out of territory, but Dowling did bring an extra guy and created some pressure, forced a quick throw.
4th and 9 for Northwest. And Andrew Eastman in the punt, averaging about 38 yards a kick. The ball will take a Waukee Northwest bounce inside the 40 of Dowling and finally rolls to the Maroon 26 as Trey Wilson lets it roll. So Dowling's offense will start 1st and 10 from there. Good job by the Dowling defense as they come off and Will Barreto and Jake Scow will share that safety spot tonight. We mentioned Joel Smerdla and Parker Pierce in the corners, so not a bad series. Brian Morris, before the Dowling offense snaps the ball, not a bad series by the Dowling defense. They gave up a yard.
Yeah, when you go for the bomb on the first down, that puts your offense in a tough spot when you don't convert that. So Dowling was able to hold, gave up just 1 yard. We'll see if the offense can get something rolling here.
All right, 1st and 10 Maroons. Quarterback is Parker DePhillips. He's got one back in the backfield. That's Rashad Davis. He fires over the middle. Pass incomplete to Jake Scow on first down on a quick slant. Scow lined up as a receiver to the left, and Matty did a little quick hitch, and the pass thrown right where the defender was, incomplete.
Blake Ludwig broke up the play there, and he did a nice job because the slant was there, and they put it right on his hands, and Ludwig was there to break it up.
So it'll be 2nd down, 10 Dowling. Dowling offense has 2 receivers to the right, tight end on the left, and Middleton in at fullback, and he'll block for the handoff to Rashad Davis. He goes over left guard and center and bounce around maybe for a yard or two. Slow going there, and it'll bring up 3rd and long for Dowling.
Not much in the middle there for Rashad as that offensive line. It's a big defensive front for Waukee Northwest. You got Vineyard at 225, Williams at 240, Hecko at 240, and Davis at 6'6". He's 200 pounds. It's a decent-sized front.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right, 1 back in the backfield for Parker DePhillips on play action. Back to throw he goes, fires out. He's got a man open, and it is caught. And did he stay in bounds? No official yet. And they say he went out of bounds as he came down, and that was Jack Barrett on the reception. Didn't get 1 foot in. That's all you need in high school, right at the Northwest 40-yard line, right in front of us in the front of the Dowling sideline. Incomplete will bring up 4th and 9 Dowling.
Yeah, great throw and great catch. He high-pointed that ball. He had him beat down the sideline and went up and got that thing and just couldn't toe tap it to get the 1 foot in bounds.
So it'll bring up 4th down for Dowling, 4th and 9.
They're going to show us a replay, but we're not going to be able to tell.
On the scoreboard. Jackson Smith, who after his first game of punting, will be into punt here. Had 3 punts last week against Ankeny for 38-yard average.
So two very similar series for each team here as they both come out and get a 3 and out and kind of feel each other out here as Dowling sets up to punt.
All right, back deep for Northwest is Josiah DeYoung, the senior.
I think they're going to call. I think the defensive guy went first.
Offside.
They're going to call encroachment or offside?
Offside on.
Yeah, they're going to call encroachment, defensive encroachment.
But it's a 5-yard penalty, so it's 4th and 9. It'll be 4th and 4.
I don't think that changes what happens here.
So offside, Waukee Northwest. And the Maroons will move the ball. The ball will be moved up to the 32-yard line. That's where Dowling will punt it. Again, Jackson Smith in. The long snapper for the Maroons is Wyatt Jones, number 44. Good snap. And gets it away. It might have been partially blocked. Goes into ran out of bounds right about the 45 of Northwest. And that time took a little long to get the punt off to Jackson Smith. And it might have been partially blocked. But nonetheless, it'll be Northwest football.
He didn't have a lot of time.
At the Dowling 49.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of time. So they were back there in a hurry.
All right, let's go down to Brian Morris. Dowling's offense has to punt on its first possession tonight, Brian.
Yeah, on that pass play, guys, his feet were in. He just did not secure the ball. It kind of came out when he hit the ground, so that was the call. But he did have 1 foot down in the sidelines.
All right, thank you, Brian, for that update. So it's 1st and 10, Northwest. At the Dowling 49, here's a snap, and the give is to the tailback, and that is Ryan Woodruff, and he gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, tried to run right guard, right tackle, and brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
No gain on the play there, and I believe that's Leo Thornton in on this rotation. It looked like him. He was the one on the tackle there, and Dowling defense tough up front right now.
Playing lights out through, 5 plays. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Construction Professionals, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Fast Signs. And now Isaiah Oliver with the football, and he's going to lose yardage to try to get the flankers and the wide receivers involved, Matt. And this is going to go back to the Dowling 49, or rather the Northwest 49. Loss of 2 on that play.
Yeah, really kind of a slow developing reverse. It really was a lot of different. They just want to get the ball in Oliver's hands, and Aiden Ducharme was there to prevent that from going any further.
So it brings up 3rd and 12, Waukee Northwest on their own 49-yard line. No score, approaching the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter from Waukee Northwest High School. All right. Quarterback is Mac Heitland, the sophomore. Back to throw, fires it out, and the pass is caught by Jordan Green, and he's got the first down. If they count it in, they do at the 20-yard line. It'll go for 31 yards and the Northwest Wolves first down.
Yeah, big play down the sideline there. Green might have got away with a little bit of a push to create some separation. There's their hand fighting, but he goes up and makes a great catch. The coverage was good, and just a great throw by Heitland.
So 31-yard reception, first down Northwest at the 20-yard line, and now the play is blown dead. And we're going to have procedure against the Wolves. That'll back them up 5 yards. 1st and 15 here, Matt.
It looked like the center was going before everybody else on that one. There was some movement up front, and the backfield wasn't set. They were trying to do some tempo, it looked like. They were trying to get up there in a hurry and run a play, but kind of fell apart.
Yeah, Brian mentioned, that the playbook that Ankeny used last week, they might get around to some of the teams. Now Heitland's going to keep it around right in. He's got to go through some traffic, and he dives forward from the Dowling 15 down maybe to the 14 for a yard. That was a slow developing play. And
that was.
He ran a little bit more east-west than he did north and south there.
He did. And that's true here on this field, too. And so he did run east-west. And we talk in that vernacular a lot, and calling the game when you're going east-west, you're going sideline to sideline, and that's true here. Anyway, Bobo was able to trip him up a little bit, slow him down, and the rest of the team followed. And there was no place to run there, so it creates a 2nd and 14.
Line of scrimmage is the Dowling 24. Now Heitland back to throw. He wants to throw right again, and he throws into the end zone, and that time Jordan Green tried to push away the Dowling defender, incomplete as he overthrew everybody, and that'll stop the clock with 7:50 remaining first quarter. It'll bring up 3rd and 14 for the Wolves on the Dowling 24-yard line.
This last week was where this defense, the bend don't break mentality happened, and Ankeny ends up kicking a lot of field goals last week. And here you have them 3rd and long, and you don't know what kind of field goal kicker they have if they feel confident from this distance, but it might be 2-down territory.
Well, Landon Steffi is their kicker, and he's hit one field goal for 24 yards. Now they set up the screen pass to Woodward, and he's upended back in the backfield. Lost a yard back to the 25. Will bring up 4th down for Northwest, and great job by the Dowling defense stuffing out that screen pass to the left of the formation, and Woodruff gets up limping.
Joel Sanko went up there and was able to upend him there, and Woodruff got the helmet right on the shin, and great play by Sanko. And they're going to go for it on 4th down here.
Officially no gain on the play, so it'll bring up 4th and 14 for Northwest, and they'll go for it. Back to throw is Heitland. He fires over the middle. He's got his receiver caught by Julian Sweeney, and he's down inside the 2-yard line.
He is right at the goal line. They're going to hurry up and go here. They hit an open pocket right in the middle of the field, and he was wide open right in the heart of that defense.
23-yard reception for Sweeney, and now quarterback sneak. Did he get in? We got a procedure call against Northwest again here, Matt.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. That'll make a coach pull his hair out when you get a procedure at the 1-inch line. Now you got to go back to a 1st and goal from the 5. I mean, they were on the 1-inch line.
So 2 big plays here as they'll move the ball back to the 6-yard line. They'll bring up 1st and goal from the 6-4, Waukee Northwest. A 31-yard reception to Jordan Green, and then Sweeney on 3rd and 14, catch the ball for a 23-yard catch.
4th and
on
14.
4th and 14. Full house backfield. Handoff goes to the tailback, and that is Caleb James. And does he get in? He does. James in for the touchdown. Haven't seen that formation in a while, but that's out of the Tom Kopatich, Corey's dad's playbook. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest.
Little power I formation there where you put the two fullbacks up front and the tailback behind them, and you go out there and put more guys where we don't have guys, and they overload it. And here we come with the swinging gate as they come out to do the extra point.
8 plays, 49 yards. And keep in mind a couple of penalties by Waukee Northwest during that drive. They overcame that. And Caleb James with the touchdown. And now penalty again on the Wolves. This is their third on this series.
They had too many guys on the field and end up backing this up and making it now
a longer extra point.
Yeah, 25-yard extra point. They come lined up at a swinging gate, and what we say for those viewers that they got 5-6 linemen to the left, skill position spread out. It's a legal formation. Then they'll shift back into a normal field goal unit.
All right, here's the extra point. Julian Sweeney, who caught the pass, will hold. And the extra point by Landon Steffi, the senior. Ball's down, the right-footed kick up and through it at 7-0. Waukee Northwest leading Dowling here at Waukee Northwest High School with 6:36 to go first quarter. Waukee Northwest 7, Dowling nothing. Back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Mercy One is proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Mercy One helps you live your best life. Find personalized care for you and your loved ones at mercyone.org. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
And welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School. The Wolves leading 7-0 over Dowling as they score on their second series. And now the kickoff by Waukee Northwest and a penalty flag on the play here, Matt Mandry. And it looks like it'll be assessed against the Wolves. Is that right? Brian Morris, come on in.
Yeah. It's a holding on the Maroons, guys. It's going to push the Maroons back a little bit.
They're not, nobody's going anywhere, and now the official just told both teams. So Dowling would have had the ball at the 30-yard line. The penalty would be assessed from there.
Yeah, the Maroons did a nice job on defense. Just one breakdown on that play, guys. And, again, the wide receiver for the Wolves just got in the middle of the zone, and there was nobody there, and it was an easy pitch and catch.
4th and 14. Waukee Northwest in the Dowling 24, and they get the big pass play to Julian Sweeney from quarterback Heitland. And now Dowling back to throw, and DePhillips now is going to be brought down. He had a receiver open momentarily, couldn't get it to him, and now he's sacked by the defensive line.
Yeah, he got not a whole lot of time to get up that ball off, and it was a 3-step drop, and generally it's going to come out a little bit quicker, but back in there for Waukee, they got in there and got that sack. I got 58 on that. Was that?
So it'll bring up 2nd and 14 as the Maroons lost yardage back to the 16-yard line. Back to throw to Phillips, looks left, throws left, fires it out, and it is caught. And that's Rashad Davis out of the backfield with the catch across the 20 and up near the 22-yard line, a gain of 6.
So he gets a little bit of that yardage back and gets out there and now make it a 3rd and a little bit more manageable. Dowling, sitting in a situation where you're coming out and making 3 passes in a row, not a place where they want to be.
So it brings up 3rd and 8 for the Maroons. Line of scrimmage, their own 22-yard line. Dowling trailing 7-0. 5:20 to go first quarter. To Phillips on play action. Now rolling to his right, being chased. Fires it out. Caught by Trey Wilson. He's got the ball and the first down as he did a nice comeback to the quarterback, to Phillips. Caught it back inside the 30 and then brought it across the 30 for the first down.
Parker Phillips did a nice job of throwing on the run right there as he had somebody in his face, and Trey makes that route, turns it off, banana route back to the sideline, and is in front of the sticks. So first down, big play for the Maroons.
Gain of 11 gives the Dowling a first down at their own 33-yard line. Pistol formation, the give is to Rashad Davis, and he finds a seam and gets across the 40, still on his feet, and squirms up to the 41-yard line, gain of 8.
He went through a lot of traffic there, and that just shows you, we talk about his quickness and what he can do, but right there, that was a leg strength run as he ran through a lot of arms to get through that pile in the middle of the field, through the A-gap, and get 7.
Are we going left to right, south to north? 2 receivers to the left. Slot receiver is Barrett. The outside receiver is Wilson. They fire it out. Caught by Wilson at midfield, and he gets out of bounds. And let's see, they're going to put him down near a first down. They're going to say he picked it up. First down, Dowling.
First down, and that's a comfort zone there for Parker DePhillips. That route with him and Trey, I think they could do that with their eyes closed. And it is something where it's a timing thing. He steps back, boom, and Trey's right at that spot where he wants him to be in front, behind the sticks, so you get a first down, and away you go.
9-yard reception for Trey Wilson. First down, Maroons. Pistol formation, 2 receivers left. The give is to Rashad Davis. Still on his feet, and he's finally brought down as he crosses the 50 down to about the 47 of Waukee Northwest. We'll give him 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 here, Matt.
He got tripped up at the line by N.L. Hicko, the 6'1", 240-pound defensive tackle. Got 1 foot there, was able to slow Rashad down. Otherwise, there was a little bit of a gap there for him to spring through. And they got Middleton in there as a lead blocker, creating some space. Pretty good stop for Northwest right there.
All right, Drexler and Barrett split out wide to the left. 2 receivers to the right, 1 back, and that's Rashad Davis. DePhillips back to throw, fires it out, and dumps it off. Caught right around the 41-yard line. Jake Scow with the catch for Dowling, and a first down, just moving the chains very, well, not aggressively, but gingerly.
Yeah,
just moving the chains.
Just moving things along. So it'll be a little bit short here, 3rd and 1. And you got a couple really good running backs in here, so it gives Coach Wilson a lot of options on this 3rd and 1 play. And sometimes this is where you take a shot.
6-yard gain. DePhillips to Scow. We'll bring up 3rd and 1 from the Northwest 41. High snap, but DePhillips gets it, hands it off to Rashad Davis. Goes through some traffic. Now bringing ball carriers with tacklers with him. He drags tacklers down to the 35-yard line. So he picked up about 4 or 5 extra yards. That'll bring up, give him a first down. They will.
Yeah, big run there for Rashad Davis, and Ian Middleton in the right side of that line are just like a snowplow moving forward. Creating space for that for Rashad to keep chugging and pick up a nice gain there on 3rd down.
6-yard gain for Rashad Davis. 1st and 10, Dowling. Line of scrimmage, the Waukee Northwest 35. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now in motion, Ian Middleton. Rashad Davis at tailback. They give it to Rashad. He follows Middleton over to left guard and tackle, and finally stood up as he moved inside the 35 down near the 33. They'll give him 2.
Couldn't quite see who the backer was that came up as they clean off this pile there, but he filled that hole real well. Number 11, Brady Fitz for Northwest, filled that hole and met Rashad right in it because the lead blocker, Middleton, had created space, and Fitz filled it up in a hurry.
Carter Barrett, Brady Hagan, left guard and left tackle and left guard, along with Carter Smith at center, Cade Krause and Josh Miller, right guard and right tackle. Hand off Rashad Davis. He's got some room inside the 30, inside the 20. Now on his feet and out of bounds as he steps out at the 13-yard line of Northwest. He picks up 20 on that carry.
He did, and Brady Hagan pulled on that play. So they pulled the left guard, and he kicks out the right end, and Rashad fit up in there, and there wasn't anybody home, and he takes off with a burst of speed down the sideline. And now you're inside the red zone.
Yes, they are. Dowling with a first down at the Northwest 13-yard line. Maroons trail 7-0, and we're going to have a timeout called by Dowling. We'll take it ourselves. We'll take a 1-minute break. 1:57 to go, first quarter. Waukee Northwest 7, Dowling nothing on Iowa Catholic Radio.
I went to church and just sat there and listened. I really didn't absorb anything. I think I just found myself believing that I didn't need God. I just had everything under control, and church was actually a burden to me. I had this sin that I carried in my heart for a long time, and I told myself for many, many years that the Lord wouldn't forgive me for this. When Father in the confessional says, your sins are forgiven, there truly is a feeling of weight lifted off. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 little sins that you're carrying, there's a feeling of I can breathe deeply again. I feel pure inside, and I'm ready to come to Mass. You can have a beautiful car, a big fancy home. If you don't have Christ in your life, there's an emptiness that's there. When you come home to the church, you're coming home to a Catholic family where people today just embrace you.
If you've been away from the Catholic Church for whatever reason, we invite you to take another look. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today.
All right, we're back here at Waukee Northwest, and first down and for Dowling to the 13. Quick pass to the right side to Trey Wilson. They'll get him down to the 11-yard line, so a short gain of 2 yards brings up second down and 8 for the Maroons here, Matt Maindring.
The big thing here is they can get a first down. You're at, so you can get down to the 5-yard line and get a first down here or inside the 5-yard line. So as the Maroons sit there, you're acting kind of like it's in the middle of the field. Grind that thing down there, get it close, give yourself a shot to punch it in.
All right, 2 receivers to the left. That's Trey Wilson, number 15, and number 1, Jake Scow. Maroons bring in Ian Middleton at fullback, Rashad Davis at tailback, and Parker DePhillips at quarterback. Hand off to Rashad Davis. He's still on his feet inside the 5, lunges for the goal line. They're going to count him down at the 1-yard line.
No, he's in.
And now they give it to him.
Yep.
Other officials said yes. Touchdown, Rashad Phillips. From 11 yards out, and Dowling now scores its first touchdown with 1:03 to go here in the first quarter, and the Maroons 1 point away from tying it up.
He didn't need much of a crease on that left side, and Barrett and Hagan and Smith worked together and got him a little crease, broke one arm, tackled the line of scrimmage, and then it was just speed and strength getting him to the goal line.
So Rashad Davis from 11 yards out. Now the extra point by Blount, and it's up and good. We're tied at 7 here at Waukee Northwest High School with 63 seconds remaining first quarter. Dowling and Waukee Northwest tied at 7, and we'll return after the kickoff, or for the kickoff, in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
All right, we're back here at Waukee Northwest. Blount's kickoff fielded at the 20-yard line by Waukee Northwest. On the return, that's Drake Walker, and he gets across the 20 up to about the 25 up to the 29-yard line. That's where the Wolves will start at 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line with 57 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Dowling and Northwest tied at 7 each. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. Brian Morris, come on in. Lots happened. Dowling going on a 12-play, 85-yard drive, Brian, that started with a 10-yard holding penalty on the kickoff.
Yeah, it was a great drive for the offense, guys. They mixed up the pass, the run, and it got Rashad going a little bit on the outside. But I think the passing, those quick 5 yards, 7 yards out, really opened up that running game.
Yeah, it certainly did, and it might open up the passing game for deeper passes. Now Waukee Northwest, a first down at their own 29. As Rashad Davis scores from 6 yards out. They give it to the backup tailback. That's Caleb James. And Woodward's still shaken up. And James gets it up to about the 30. Spot him right on the 30-yard line. Gain of 1 to bring up 2nd and 9 for the Wolves. With 40 seconds remaining, the game clock ticking here in the first quarter.
You really saw the defense there run downhill, and those linebackers are flying to the football downhill, and it was just a great defensive stop there as 11 guys got to it.
All right, here is Heitland back to throw, and the ball is hit and dropped. The intended receiver was Maddox Toit, the tight end, and I think Quarterback Heitland had pressure, and he had to dump it off.
He did, and Ian Middleton was coming. Might have got winged a little bit as Middleton was trying to fly through there, but Heitland had to get rid of the ball, threw it low. Dylan Manning dives, almost gets his hands underneath that ball.
All right, it brings up 3rd and 9 for Waukee Northwest from their own 30-yard line. Here's the snap. Heitland with 4 receivers. Looks right, throws right. Down the right sideline, he's got a receiver, Green, and it is caught for the first down at the Dowling 35. I'll tell you what, Jordan Green and Isaiah Oliver are interesting to watch. They're fun, but they're working on the Dowling defense.
I believe Smerdla was in coverage, had good coverage down that sideline. He's flying down there with him and had his hands on him, and just a great throw as he went out there and dove and caught the football. That's a great pitch and catch. 35-yard reception for Waukee Northwest. As Jordan Green on the reception, a sophomore at 5'11", and it's a first down, and we've got, a timeout? And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The teams are heading to the benches. We've come to the end of the first quarter with the score. Dowling 7, Waukee Northwest 7. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. We come back, first down for Waukee Northwest. They'll have it at the Dowling 35 here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
In the minds of non-Catholics, Catholicism often conjures up images of Catholic stuff. Candles, crucifixes, rosaries, statues, holy water, oils, and the like. These are called sacramentals, not to be confused with the 7 sacraments. They are material items that the Lord uses as conduits of His blessing. Because of our belief in sacramentals, Catholics have sometimes been accused of practicing magic. But magic is the pagan and New Age belief that an object has power in and of itself. Sacramentals, on the other hand, are the Christian belief that the living and true God uses His creation as instruments of grace and healing. Sacramentals appear throughout the Scriptures. James speaks of anointing with oil. Acts of the Apostles tells us that Paul's handkerchiefs brought healing power to those whom they touched. In the Old Testament, Elisha's bones were used to bring a dead man back to life. And of course, the Gospels portray our Lord Himself often using water, mud, or even His own spit to perform mighty works of healing and cleansing, a power which Jesus passed on to His priests to be continued to this day. Sacramentals are neither magic nor make-believe, but powerful weapons to be utilized in our spiritual journeys. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
And we're back here at Waukee Northwest High School. What a game we have. Tied at 7. We start the second quarter. Dowling and Waukee Northwest on this 4th week of the high school football season. Waukee Northwest a first down to Dowling 35. Heitland, the quarterback, the sophomore, and fakes the handoff, keeps it, tries to go around right end, and he scrambles to get near the line of scrimmage. Now a late hit's going to be called on the Maroons, and they're going to get Jackson Miller back in there. Yeah. They have Jackson Miller in, and they're going to get him for the late hit. So he goes out of bounds. They'll lose a yard back to the 36-yard line, but he's going to gain 15.
It's one of those plays where he's running out of bounds, and whether his both feet were inbounds yet when he hit him, might be, but as knocking him off his feet like that and out of bounds, they're probably going to, they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player on that. So it's a big play. Puts the ball down to the 20-yard line. Now the defense has their back against the wall again. 1st and 10, Northwest. The line of scrimmage is the Dowling 20. Quarterback remains Mac Heitland. In the backfield, he has a backup tailback. That's Caleb James, a 6-foot senior. And Caleb's pretty versatile. He's starting wide receiver and tailback. They fake it to him. They get the ball out to Isaiah Oliver, and he's loose in the secondary, still on his feet. He finally drug down inside the 10 near the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Waukee at the Dowling 5, a gain of 15. Great hustle play by Owen Pins coming from his defensive line position to catch Oliver as he gets slowed up there at the 5-yard line. But it was a one-on-one play out there, and Oliver won it, and another big play for the Wolves.
Isaiah Oliver gives Waukee a first down. They hand it off to James, and he tries to bust through the left side of the line, and he's going to be brought down right about the 4-yard line for a gain of 1. 2nd and goal for Waukee Northwest at the Dowling 4.
Not much room there inside, and the only success right now for Waukee has been through the air. And you got to think then, they run that first one in. They're going to be trying to get Heitland out in space and let him throw the football to one of those targets.
Power I formation. They move the fullbacks to the right. They hand off going right, and that is the tailback James. They're going to spot forward progress to the 2 for a gain of 2 to bring up 3rd and goal from the Dowling 2.
They had an extra guy coming off the backside, the Maroons did. I couldn't tell if it was Middleton or not, but he was able to catch him from behind and slow him up and Then the rest piled them up there from behind. Again, a power I formation on that play.
Northwest now bringing in Jordan Green as a receiver, and he'll be matched up on the near side here. They'll bring up 3rd and goal on the Dowling 2. And now Heitland throws the route into the end zone. The pass is caught by Green. Touchdown, Northwest. And you heard the fade route being mentioned here, and that's what they threw to the near corner to the right of the formation. Touchdown, Waukee.
And sometimes when you know it's coming and you still can't stop it, that's what happened right there. And Jordan Green makes the play, makes the catch in the corner of the end zone. Good play by Heitland. He pinpointed that ball in the corner.
So now the extra point. They run the swinging gate, does Waukee Northwest, as Green. A touchdown reception from 2 yards out. Now the hold by Julian Sweeney. And the extra point attempt coming from Landon Steffi. He's already made one tonight. 13-7 is our score. The extra point good. 14-7. Waukee Northwest leads Dowling with 10:06 to go here in the second quarter. We'll return to Waukee Northwest Stadium after this 1-minute break on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One. We all want to live our best life. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care when and where you need it. Schedule online at mercyone.org.
And we're back at Waukee Northwest High School. Mark Amadeo alongside Matt Mandering. A kickoff goes out of bounds by Landon Steffi of Waukee Northwest kicker. Dowling will have it 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. And let's go down to Brian Morris. Brian, Waukee Northwest, 8 plays, 71 yards on their drive, capped off by quarterback Mac Heitland's 2-yard pass to Jordan Green, who had single coverage there in the end zone, Brian.
Yeah, Jordan Green, that's about the 3rd time. He uses his body really well to get space for himself. He kind of dips in and then dips out, and he gives himself just a little bit of room, and he just jumped over and got the touchdown. So he's doing a really good job just technique-wise to get open.
Certainly is. He stands at 5'11" and just a sophomore, and the other one is Isaiah Oliver, 6'1" junior, and they're outstanding receivers. We heard about that on a pregame show from Coach Wilson. So Dowling with the first down from their own 35-yard line. They give to Rashad Davis. Squirms through a hole. He's got 5 and 6-7 yards before he's finally brought down. They're going to spot him a gain of 9 up to the 44 there.
Yeah, when that ball was handed off and he hit to the line of scrimmage, it didn't look like it was going to be a gain of 9. And between the tackles there, that offensive line kept driving and plowing forward. And Rashad kept the legs churned and gets 9 yards out of it. Big pickup. All of a sudden, we got a shootout. we hope, at least, as
it's trending that way.
It's trending that way.
Second down now for the Maroons from their own 44-yard line. Rashad Davis, a gain of 9 on first down. 14-7, Waukee Northwest leading. Trey Wilson goes in motion right to left. Dowling going north to south here. Here's a quick pass over in the corner, and the pass is caught near midfield. They're going to spot him down right at the 49-yard line, and on the catch that time from Jimmy Nahas.
Yeah, Jimmy Nahas on the catch. Ball was put right on him, first down, and nice pickup there, one-on-one coverage on the edge on the short side of the field, and first down, quick first down for the Maroons as they near midfield.
That's Jimmy's first catch of the night, and it brings up second down, gain of 5. First and 10. As Maroons only needed a yard, and they got 5. Back to throw to Phillips. Looks left, throws left, fires out. Nahas again caught at the 45 of Waukee Northwest. He picks up the first down and finally run out of bounds at the 39 of the Wolves.
Nice play design there as they created space. Trey went across the middle. Trey Wilson went across the middle, and then Nahas breaks to the outside at about the numbers, and Phillips throws the ball a long ways on that one. That ball had to cover a lot of ground and hit Nahas in the hands, and the sticks move.
Well, Jake Scow playing safety. He's one of those starting receivers, so Nahas, next man in, takes his spot, and he's got a couple catches. So it's a first down Dowling at the 39 of Waukee Northwest as they go right to left. Now the reverse, double reverse, hand off to Trey Wilson. He's got some room on the near sideline and finally runs into a tackler right at the 35 of Northwest. That whole play gained 5.
Brady Fitz did a good job there for Northwest, being able to reverse his tracks and cut it off, because it looked initially like Trey had some room as they ran Rashad to the right side and then Trey on the reverse. And when you run to the short side of the field, you're really hoping that they shift to the strength of the wide side and you create numbers.
So it's 2nd and 5 Maroons from the Waukee Northwest 34-yard line as we approach the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Handoff goes to Cohen Shelton for the first time tonight, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that might be it. No gain on the play to bring up 3rd and 5.
Not a lot of room there for Cohen Shelton in the middle of the field, and so he ran into a wall and no gain. So 3rd and 5.
See what kind of package the Maroons come up with. We'll check Jack Barrett back in the lineup.
Shifting a lot of personnel here as they're
Kyle Schumacher in as a receiver. Yeah. Rashad Davis will stay in at tailback. So 2 receivers on each side of the formation here, Matt, without a tight end. 3rd and 5 Dowling from the Northwest 34-yard line. 14-7 Northwest. Back to throw to Phillips. Has time. Now steps up in the pocket, wants to run. Fakes the pass. Now on his feet. He got the man that was going to tackle him to go in the air on the fake, and he picked up the first down out of bounds at the 23-yard line of Northwest.
We got a flag down back here, and it's going to be a hold.
You're right.
Reminiscent of last week, and now we get a good play. And Parker Phillips did a great job there. He had ball fake and had Fitz frozen in the middle of the field, and then he went right by him for the first down, but the penalty brings it back.
18-yard run called back. Penalty on Dowling, the hold. And they'll move it back to the Northwest 44-yard line. So they'll redo 3rd down again. 3rd, and they're still calculating the yardage. About 3rd and 16.
The thing about this that makes it tough, too, is if you don't get any yardage here, you got to punt it. If you get half the yardage back, you might go for it.
Yeah, good point. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. High snap, but Phillips has it. Back to throw he goes, fires it out, and the pass is incomplete, knocked away at the last moment, as the intended receiver was Sam Drexler, and he was fighting one-on-one with the defensive back for Waukee Northwest, that being Josiah DeYoung.
And there's a lot of contact out there as the ball's in the air as Sam tries to come back for the football, and no call, and good play defensively, and Sam is not able to come down with it, so it forces Dowling to punt.
Yeah, tough break, Brian, as we go down to you on the Dowling sideline. A lot of hand fighting, but Dowling comes up empty this time.
Yeah, they did, and again, they're letting them play in the defensive backfield, so that's a good thing from a football, but there was a lot of contact there before the ball got there. You can see every replay on the board in this, multi-million-dollar stadium.
You have a better view than we do because it's on the south end zone. Here's the punt by Jackson Smith. Fair catch signal for by Waukee Northwest, but the ball goes into the end zone touchback. And the Wolves will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line with 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. And Waukee Northwest leads Dowling by the score of 14-7. Dowling's lone touchdown came on a Rashad Davis 6-yard run. Caleb James on a 6-yard run for Waukee. And Jordan Green's 2-yard touchdown pass reception from quarterback Mac Heitland is Waukee's scores.
This is a big series for the Dowling defense. They need to get a stop here, and haven't been able to do it except for that first series.
And they hand it off to the tailback, and that's Caleb James now stepping up as Woodruff we haven't seen since he limped off back in the first quarter. So Caleb James, who's normally a wide receiver, goes back to the backfield. Pretty versatile he is, and he gets a yard or a couple yards up the 22-yard line here, Matt.
Aiden Ducharme makes a stop at the line of scrimmage like a bullet in the middle there, and was able to stem that at the line of scrimmage. And Waukee runs in with the pass package. Now they're going wide, and this is where they've had their success.
They got Green over here on the near side, defended by Parker Pearson. They throw left, and the pass is caught, and running with the football across the 30, and finally brought down is Julian Sweeney.
Run a quick screen out there, and they had Dowling defense outnumbered, and they were able to get the quick yardage on that and pick up first down and move the chains.
Up to the 31-yard line, gain of 11, and Sweeney has been the third down guy for Waukee Northwest. And in one case, the fourth down guy. It was 4th and 14. He carries it down 23 yards for a first and goal. So
he's got the hot hand out there right now.
They have three definite receivers, Jordan Green, Isaiah Oliver, and Julian Sweeney. And now the handoff goes to their backup tailback, Caleb James, and he's spun around as he crosses the line of scrimmage up near the 34-yard line, gain of 3.
Again, a stop by Aiden Ducharme as he's got the leverage point on the wide side of the field right there, and he's able to squeeze that down and limit the gain there for the Wolves, creating a 2nd and 6. And this is going to be interesting to see how this goes. Right now, the coaches think is going to go vertical here.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Back to throw is quarterback Heitland. Angles the ball downfield. The ball is thrown away. Out of bounds, incomplete. Isaiah Oliver, who had single coverage that time with Dowling's Parker Pearson there, Matt.
He did, and Parker Pearson was, again, you're going to test Parker. He's been in the right spot all the time, and he's able to make the play there and shut it down. So now you got a 3rd and 6. And this is a big one here. You're going to see if the Dowling defense can step up and get a stop.
Northwest has 3 timeouts remaining this half. Dowling 2. 5 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Northwest leads 14-7 over Dowling. As you mentioned, 3rd and 6 for Waukee Northwest. Heitland back to throw, rolls to his left, now wants to run, keeps the football, and he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. May have lost a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down and 7 for the Wolves.
Ryan Bobo makes a nice stop there as they brought an extra guy. They brought pressure, and Bobo gets a stop there. Makes a great play to give the Maroons a 4th down punt.
Brian Morris, you talk about a sack. That goes down as a sack of 1 yard.
Yeah, no, Ryan Bobo, guys, he's been in a lot of plays tonight. I think he's doing a nice job. And on the sidelines for Waukee, Ryan Woodruff, I see him over there. He's sitting there with crutches on, so I doubt he's back in the game.
That's tough. You don't want to see that. And here's the punt by the Wolves, and now muffed at the 35, but Dowling lands on top of it. Trey Wilson muffed the punt, but he picked it up and landed on it. So Dowling's offense will start there, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Dowling trailing 14-7 with 4:23 to go here in the second quarter. Alongside Matt Maindring, Mark Amadale, glad you could join us on week 4 of the high school football season. Brian, give us a report. I know you were just down to you, but give us an update.
Yeah, I think that was Jack Barrett back there on the punt. And I don't want to get Coach Wilson angry by calling Trey out by muffing that, but that was Jack Barrett.
All right. Well, you corrected me.
Yeah, I'll correct you. I don't want Coach Wilson watching tape and coming back on you.
I appreciate that. All right, 1st down Maroons, and now DePhillips wants to throw, keeps it, now decides to run with it, and he slides up to the 40-yard line for a gain of 5.
Really good decision by Parker DePhillips right there as he saw the coverage on the short side of the field, pump faked it, held onto it, pumped it again, and then decided he better get some yards, and big pickup there on 1st down.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, and Fast Signs. Reminder of the fall fundraiser, Iowa Catholic Radio coming up on October 1st to the 4th, special programming highlighting the very best of local national educators. Pledge your support. Tax-deductible gift is appreciated at iowacatholicradio.com. 2nd and 5 to Phillips. Back to throw again. Fires it out. Pass caught. And a nice catch by the Maroons. Jake Scow, and he's cross midfield, and he's got the 1st down. Now, Scow's been playing a little safety in the due to the injury to Will Barreto, but now he's on the rotation on the offense here.
Nice catch by Barreto. Now I got Barreto in my head. So
it's a free safety, yeah, right.
Nice catch by Scow. Phillips again. That's a long throw for him, and Scow shakes the first 2 defenders for the Wolves and scoots around him and picks up a big 1st down.
11-yard gain, 1st down Dowling at the Northwest 49-yard line. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the half. Dowling trails by a touchdown. Back to throws to Phillips. Has time. Stays in the pocket. Now rolls to his right. Looking. And as everything breaks down, he's looking for something to happen. He'll dump it into the Waukee Northwest sideline on the far side. West bleachers. Incomplete. Boy, he had a lot of time, Matt, but nobody was open. Northwest defensive backs were all over everybody.
Yeah, a lot of coverage there, and DePhillips did a great job of keeping that play alive as long as he did, and couldn't find someone that he felt he could get it to. And so in the end, he just chucks it out of bounds, which was a smart play. And, as you roll to the wide side of the field as a quarterback, everything shrinks. There's not much room for the receivers. And that's kind of what happened right there.
All right, 2 receivers right for the Maroons. Pistol formation on 2nd and 10. Maroons from the Northwest 49. And now the handoff goes to the tailback and dragging tacklers down to the Northwest 45. Is that Rashad back in there?
Yeah, Rashad Davis in the middle there on the right side of that line behind Krause and behind Miller. And actually was kind of running backwards for a little bit as he got spun around in there. But creates a third and pretty manageable here.
4-yard gain for Rashad Davis. I'm going to bring up 3rd and about 6, we'll call it. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Back to throw to Phillips, and he overthrew his intended receiver on the near sideline, that being Jack Barrett. Pass goes incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and 6 for the Maroons.
4th and 6 this late in the half, and you're going to end up punting the football and try to pin this Northwest team deep. The pass came out a little high for DePhillips and not much room there, and I don't know if he'd have caught that if he'd have had a first down, quite honestly, Mark.
Well, Jordan Green back deep for Northwest, along with Julian Sweeney, awaiting the punt of Dowling Catholic's Jackson Smith, who stands at his own 40-yard line. Long snapper is Wyatt Jones, gets it away. Fair catch signal for, goes over the punt returner's head and goes inside the 5 and down at the 1-yard line. Actually spotted at the 2. Great coverage that time by the special teams of Dowling.
Great coverage by the special teams, and they got down there and got that ball inside the marker, so they got a long ways to go. Northwest does, 98 yards to go, and with 2:17, Dowling's got 2 timeouts. You got time to get the ball back.
And Brian Morris, I know Waukee Northwest will probably go conservative. They'll spot the ball at the 3, so Northwest on their own 3-yard line, but Maroons looking to, make something happen on defense. They've only forced 2 fumbles this year.
Yeah, they are. And that was Leo Pagano, guys, who downed that ball on the 3.
All right, Leo Pagano and the special teams. And now the Wolves just run the ball into the line. They'll try to kill the clock here. Quarterback sneak. 2:05 remaining. Dowling has 2 timeouts remaining, and I think the next series or next play, Dowling's going to think about using them.
Yeah, and right here you want to make sure you just keep your head in the swivel and you don't take a break in that backfield that they take Oliver or Green and send them deep. And so you just where you do that play action and chuck it down, and with a 7-point lead, you might gamble on something like that.
Don't forget our halftime guest tonight, Dr. Joe Cadero. And I think Sonny Cadero will be with him, his brother, talking about the Catholic Worker House. Father Dave Polish visited with us a few weeks ago about it, and I'm going to talk more about that tonight at halftime. So stay tuned, halftime guest, the Cadero brothers.
What's the hold up here?
The Maroons are worried about they're going to run time off the clock when they get reset. They did stop the clock to get something
set. They put it back
set.
to 25, though, so that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they wind the clock.
Yeah, okay.
So it's 2nd and 10 from they're going to call it the 4-yard line, so they're going to give the quarterback a yard on that last play. 2nd and 9. Out of the end zone, they give it to the tailback. And hit and drop is Caleb James. Minute 45 to go, and Dowling's got to use a timeout here, I believe.
Yeah, Dylan Manning came up and made the initial hit, and then Jackson Miller came and finished him off.
We'll keep it here.
Yeah, I got a couple scores for you.
Sure.
Ankeny Centennial is up on Southeast Polk 10-7. And Valley is up on Waukee 7-0, and Ankeny is up on Johnson 7-0 as well. Those are the latest scores that I had.
Some tremendous games going on. We'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Wolves on their own 10-yard line. When we return, Brian Morris is rather on the Dowling sideline. And big third down play here for the Wolves. If they can get a first down, Brian, they'll go into halftime. They'll just run the clock out.
Yeah, I would assume they would. But, again, I think this defense has to get this stop, give the offense a chance. Because, again, Coach Wilson, 2-minute drill, has had so much success over the years. So that's what we're wishing for here, guys, is a nice stop, another timeout, and then give the Maroons a shot to put some more points on the board and maybe tie it up before halftime.
And, Brian, at halftime tonight when you talk to Coach Wilson, we won't have any mic problems because the local TV station's not here for interference.
That'll be good, guys, because last week I got the stink eye from him.
Well, you're used to doing that. You got a lot of them.
I get the stink eye all the time.
Yeah, so. This is your second tour of duty.
Yeah,
so
I got thick skin and I'm old.
All right. Wolves with the 3rd and 3 from their own 10-yard line. They'll spread them out. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. I formation backfield. And the quarterback, Mac Heitland, under center. 5 on the play clock, and they're going to call timeout and use up one of their 3.
They were trying to draw them off sides, trying to draw Dowling off sides. 3rd and 3, try to get that cheap first down inside the goal, inside the 10-yard line. And we'll see where things run from here.
All right, tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Bozen the Florist, Blessman International, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. And also want to remind our listeners, our Dowling Catholic High School Activity Spotlight. Congratulations to Grace Fry and Juju Morrow. They were September's recipients of the class of 2025 for being a recognized witness to the very best of faith, academics, and student activities. Members of the state championship tennis team. Grace and Juju's interview with John Leonetti on the Catholic Morning Show was on Thursday, September 5th. You can go to Iowa Catholic Radio and hear the podcast. And our thanks to the sponsor of Dowling Catholic High School Activity Spotlight. That's Brightside Aesthetics by Ducharme Dermatology in Clive, offering a wide variety of aesthetic and wellness services and providing customized care to have you looking your best. Learn more at brightsideiowa.com. Congratulations, Grace Fry and Juju Morrow. All right. Northwest will keep the ball on the ground. They give it to James, and he's hit and brought back inside the 5-yard line. They're going to spot forward progress. The line of scrimmage will bring up 4th and 3 at the 10.
They're going to give him, it's close, and they're going to make it a yard short. Dowling calls a timeout, so it's 4th and 1 from inside the, at the 12-yard line.
The 12-yard line. Well, they went back towards the end zone, and I didn't realize. I saw the head linesman on our side finally gave it a 2-yard gain. 4th and 1. Timeout. Dowling will keep it here.
We should congratulate the boys cross country team tonight as they had a great
they went out of state.
They went up in Minneapolis or up in the city somewhere up there, and
last weekend they placed second
in Kansas.
And now they're all up in the GRIAC tournament up at University of Minnesota, and they all left today. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, they left yesterday. I get my days messed up.
Today's
anyway,
Friday.
They competed today.
Competed today. Okay.
They competed today, and the boys won the meet, and I'm not sure quite where the girls placed, but I know they did well. That's a big win for the cross-country team. So congratulations to Coach Ives and the team.
All right, it'll be 4th and 1. Wolves on their own 12-yard line, and they will punt it away with Eastman getting the punt away. And Dowling a fair catch by Trey Wilson at the Waukee Northwest 43-yard line. So plenty of time. Maroons out of timeouts, but 1:24 to go in the half. Dowling trailing 14-7. And the Maroons with a first down at the Northwest 43-yard line here, Matt. So this is where the 2-minute drill takes effect with 1:24 and 43 yards to the end zone.
It's something you practice, again, like we talked about last week. It's something you practice every day. You go through a series of events, and you know what you can do with your athletes. Sometimes you can run high school football. Because it stops after that first down, you have a few more options to run the football. But we'll see what Dowling does here. And you always do this towards the end of practice so that your kids are tired, you're in this kind of a situation, and see what happens.
Eastman with a 31-yard punt, no return. Dowling with a first down. And here is DePhillips. Looks left, throws right, pass is caught, and stepping out of bounds is Trey Wilson on the far sideline in front of the Waukee Northwest bench.
7 seconds and 5 yards or 4 yards there, and you're going to be content with that as you move down the field here to get the clock stopped.
So a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 Maroons. Northwest has 2 timeouts remaining. Dowling none. 1:19 to go in the half. Waukee Northwest 14, Dowling Catholic 7. Back to throw, Parker DePhillips fires it out, and the pass is caught out of bounds, and they're going to give forward progress to Trey Wilson just shy of the 36-yard line.
Yeah, about 2 yards on that, 1 yard. So I guess it's going to be 3rd and 5. I can't quite.
Yep, 2-yard gain. And so the Maroons have gained 5 yards in 2 plays, and now they'll bring in a different package. Sam Drexler in there. They'll move Wilson slot left. 3 receivers left and 1 to the right, and that's Jake Scow on the right of the formation. 1 back in the backfield. DePhillips out of the shotgun. Parker calling signals. Minute 16 to go in the half. 3rd and 7 Dowling. Back to throw to Phillips. Launches downfield. He's got Trey Wilson open, and the pass is overthrown, incomplete. He tried to set it between the defenders, and Trey was running with Sam Drexler.
He was.
Incomplete.
And, just out of the reach of Trey Wilson as they had that ball and had a shot there to connect in the middle of the field, but didn't quite get it done. So now they're going to end up punting it back with a minute 10.
So bring up 4th down and 7 for the Maroons. Line of scrimmage is the Waukee Northwest 38. Dowling going right to left, north to south. They try and pin Northwest back in their own territory. Great job last time doing it. Pignano finally down the ball at the 3. And there's a good snap. And Jackson Smith punt high, goes over the head of the safety, Julian Sweeney, into the end zone, touchback. So the Wolves will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line with 64 seconds remaining in the first half, which is taking rather long here with this last couple minutes, Matt.
The secondary's been playing really well for the Wolves and haven't allowed anything beyond that 10-yard mark really for DePhillips. He's been picking off those short things and they haven't given up anything big deep. And again, we're finding it Dowling having a tough time getting in that rhythm again.
Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That's where Brian Morris is at as the Wolves have a 1st down. They'll give it to James, and he's hit and stacked up, and they have lost a yard back to the 18-yard line to bring up 2nd and 12. Brian?
Yeah, on that pass play, guys, 2 Dowling receivers were in the very same spot. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if that was called or one of the receivers maybe did a different route. But, again, the ball was just almost in between both of them.
Yeah, it ended up in the middle of the field, and you had both Drexler and Wilson close to the football there. Ryan Bowl went into my side, almost got the handoff there in the backfield as they wind this clock down. And they're going to throw the ball.
All right, back to throw is Heitland, fires the ball out, and the pass is nearly intercepted by Will Barretto as the intended receiver right in front of us for Northwest. It was Jordan Green. He was also high pointing the ball. Incomplete.
And the thought process there on 2nd down, you can stop the clock because if you don't complete it, you don't complete it. Now you run it on 3rd down, run the clock out, half is over. And we'll see. Because if they throw an incomplete pass here, now you got to going to punt it. But I figure they're going to run.
Yeah, handoff goes to Caleb James. He runs in the middle of the pile to get the ball back to the 20-yard line, and that should end the first half, a gain of 2 statistically for James. So final seconds of the first half winding down. Northwest does not have to snap the ball, and they're going to go in with a 14-7 lead over Dowling Catholic in a series in which Maroons have played Northwest 4 times and come out victorious 4 times. But the 5th game's being interesting. We'll go down to Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson right at the 50-yard line.
Coach, just another week of Central Iowa football, good football game. You guys had a great 85-yard drive, but then the other drives just stalled on you.
Yeah, we're not executing our offense very well at all, and we've got to do a better job. We've got run looks that we're not taking, and we just have to simply execute better.
Defensively, the defense has played pretty well. Gave up a couple big plays, that one on 4th down, but say a little bit about your defense.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job. Deep balls have hurt us.
Okay, good luck, Coach.
Thank you, Brian, with head coach Tom Wilson as we go to halftime with Waukee Northwest leading Dowling Catholic 14-7. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Hamadale. Brady Grimm, our studio producer tonight. Welcome back, Brady, and we appreciate having him on board on Friday Night Football. And Matt, you got scores now? We're going to do it later.
Oh, no real updates right now. Just Centennial still up on Polk 10-7 and Valley up on Waukee 7-0.
All right, we'll take a break here at halftime. And Brady, I don't want to spring anything on you, but this will be a 2-minute break. A 2-minute break here at Waukee Northwest Stadium. Beautiful night as the sun set. got into the 80s, but we've got our guests here, so stay tuned as Joe Cordero and Sonny Cordero will join us here at halftime. Our score, Waukee Northwest 14, Dowling 7. We'll return to Waukee Northwest High School after this 2-minute break on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Few Catholic doctrines are more disputed than that of purgatory, and yet if it is properly understood, we see that purgatory is a gift of God's mercy. Jesus did not come to merely forgive the penalty for our sins, but to cleanse us and make us his new creations. Revelation 21:27 says, "Nothing impure will enter heaven." Those of us who die in a state of grace or are saved and still have selfishness and sin remaining on our souls must undergo a purification before entrance into heaven is possible. So purgatory is not a second chance at heaven, but simply a final stage of growing in holiness. Notice that Jesus in Matthew 12 speaks of sins that will not be forgiven in this age or in the age to come. In 1 Corinthians 3, St. Paul writes that on Judgment Day, there will be some who suffer loss. They will still be saved, but only as through fire. C.S. Lewis, the famous Anglican Christian writer, believed in purgatory and compared it to the burning sensation of mouthwash after having one's tooth pulled at the dentist's office. Indeed, while purgatory may involve some pain, it will not be without joy, for it is the threshold to the gates of paradise. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
And welcome back to halftime here at Waukee Northwest High School. Mark Amadil alongside Matt Mainring and Brian Morse. Our halftime score, Dowling Catholic and Waukee Northwest. Took up from a good one. Northwest leads 14-7 at halftime, joined now by Dr. Joe Cordero and Sonny Cordero, the Cordero brothers here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
My goodness.
This is great.
Who's going to do the talking here? Because I know you both can hold your own.
Well, I can start it off. We're here with the Friends of the Catholic Worker, Joe and I.
What's this all about, the Catholic Worker? Do you know anything about that? It's been in existence for 49 years, but you've been around for over 60 on this, right?
Right. I helped found it. So in 1976.
We're talking to Sonny Cordero. That's who's talking right now.
I dropped out of the seminary the first time. Yeah. So, and then I spent 7 years, fell out of love, and became a priest. And spent 19 years.
I heard that.
And got out of the priesthood after a heart attack and went back to the house, and that's a 50-year life.
Did you ask for the short version?
I asked for the slight version, and I got the long version. Dr. Joe, how'd you let this happen to your brother?
The point of it all...
It was out of my hands, Coach. It was out of my hands.
The attraction of the Catholic Worker is that 5 days a week we open up our doors and we serve close to 700 meals to people in our neighborhood. This is the same neighborhood that when I was going to Dowling, we were playing football at.
That's right, the old Dowling area, Leviton College.
It's a connection with the school. It's also a connection with the tradition of the Catholic Worker and serving the least in our midst. And our rap is that we serve Jesus when we're doing that. Makes all the difference for us.
And Sonny, you've been so gracious with your time and the talents of people that serve the Catholic Worker for all these years. How have you survived? How do you survive financially? Because you got to feed 5 days a week all these hundreds of people, and it's just amazing.
We got 4 houses. We have folks in all the houses. We beg. That's what we do. We beg. The whole operation is on a yearly basis, less than $150,000. 4 houses, over 20 people, room and board, 700 meals a week. We rely on volunteers. People come and help us. It's really a cool scene.
Unbelievable.
And this is where we're starting this nonprofit. Ray Blaze, a classmate of mine, the St. Vincent de Paul of Ankeny, he's helping us start this thing. And the funds we get from the Friends of the Catholic Worker are paying for all the meat, potatoes, rice, and the food we're serving people. And we've always got needs. 4 houses always have repairs. Right now we've got a furnace that needs to be replaced, and some foundation work. So I'm just throwing that out there because that's how we do it. We beg.
Dr. Joe Cordero, your brother's been a big part of this. Now you're involved. You mentioned Ray Blaze and a few others. We had Father Dave Polich on a couple weeks ago. He filled in for you guys at the last moment, as I understood, coordinating your schedules.
We had a family event. Our brothers get together, my family, and we go to a small pond out by Creston and spend 4 days. We have jokes. We eat a lot, and we lie to each other for about 4 days.
Yeah, and then everybody goes to confession, coming back the next day or two. Yeah,
if we only could find a priest.
Well, I'm there, but I can't do the absolution.
I get that. So let's talk about funding for this. You talk about what you do, Sonny Cordero, but talk about the funding for this. How can people get involved? People want to give to this, and I know you got Ray Blaze, and there's a good man to have in this group. Talk about your board and getting this funded.
Well, if folks want to check out the webpage, Friends of the Catholic Worker, just type that in Google, it'll come up. And it's if you want to write a check out to the Friends of the Catholic Worker and send it to the P.O. Box 1386, Ankeny, Iowa, 50021. That'll go right into the fund, and it'll help us feed folks on a weekly basis.
I forgot he's a Hall of Famer, Dowling Catholic Hall of Famer, Sonny Cordero.
Football, believe it?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. What happened to you, Joe?
Good question, Joe. What happened to you, Joe?
Back in the day when intramurals were important.
Intramurals.
Poor man.
I was there.
It's sad.
You're in the Intramural Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
Hall of Famer.
And he says the trophy was hidden, disappeared.
The plaque was in the old Dowling trophy case, and somehow it disappeared when they sold the place.
Ron Gray told me it was in the beanery at one time, and they haven't seen it since. That's what I was. That's firsthand information from Ron.
Well, it was a moving target.
Yeah, it was.
If that trophy's out there anywhere, come forward with it.
I think somebody stole it. Somebody got in there and got it. I know they knew it was valuable.
Folks, you want to know what happened to that pond that weekend with the Corderos? Conversations like this happen. We're at halftime here at Waukee Northwest. Northwest leading Dowling Catholic 14-7. The Cordero brothers with me, Joe and Sonny. And Joe, you're retired. My daughter said you come in once in a while and substitute teach at Dowling, and I already sent a petition to the principal there, Mr. Mainring, who sits in that chair about that. But other than that, what have you been up to?
For some reason, they like me out there. Maybe they don't know my complete history. We shouldn't go that far. But after I retired, I started substituting at Dowling. I do that 2 or 3 days a week, and then I work with a mentoring group of retired principals and teachers that come back to Dowling, and we each divide a group of kids who need some special mentoring. So usually they're 504 kids, but we can handle anything. So that's a very special part of what I do.
That's awesome, Joe, and I know you find time to give back.
Once a week he comes over and washes dishes at the Catholic Worker.
You don't let him cook?
No, goodness no.
I don't want to cook.
Rosie's kept him alive with the awesome cooking.
Rosie's kept a lot of Joe's alive. God bless her. Joe's a lucky man.
That's right. He is.
And the world should know it.
So this organization that Sonny's talking about, Joe, give us your perspective. What are we missing here? How can folks get involved if they need more volunteers and money?
Well, I just got involved with it this year. I've been off and on working with the Catholic Worker since 1976. Doing some carpentry, doing some volunteering. Right now, I'm very happy just to come down and wash dishes. And if you ever have an opportunity to come down there and just watch the volunteers that we have, but especially the people that are down there that work every day, are an outstanding group. they're happy. They know what their job is. They know why they do it. It's a multicultural bunch of people. You could be in the kitchen one day and they're speaking Spanish, then the next they're speaking Arabic, and the next thing who knows what they're doing. But they all communicate with hand signals or whatever, but it makes it work. It's a pleasure just to know the people that have worked there over the years. And I'll give out one kudos here. This guy next to me, my little brother, there's people that don't understand what he's all about. At the beginning, they said, well, he's going to feed the people, yeah, and he's going to burn out, yeah. Well, almost 45 years later, he's still doing it. And so it tells you that this is deep inside this guy. He's built around the gospel, and that makes me very, very proud. I'm sure my parents sit there in heaven, they're looking down and saying, what a good kid. He was never like that when he was a kid, but right now he's at his best.
Well, they
Do
had
I
one
have to
good
give
kid.
him $5? That's amazing.
They had one good kid.
Well, that was me.
No, that was Sonny.
Thank you, Joe. You're a peach. I really am a blessed man. I get to do the works of mercy, and all I have to do is roll out of bed, and it's just happening all the time. And I'm blessed. I've lived a blessed life.
Sonny, I think a lot of people know, what you've done and what you've been doing behind the scenes. You're kind of doing God's dirty work, but it's important. What keeps the fire in you, the passion in you to provide this service to these people in the old Dowling neighborhood? What's the passion behind this, Sonny?
I really like the whole idea of serving Jesus. I'm really a Jesus freak. I've been that way since college. The way I play football is now the way I play Jesus. And the Catholic work gives me a chance to actually live it out. So, I'm just a Jesus freak from the 70s.
Unbelievable. And, the work day in and day out, 5 days a week, serving over 700 meals a week. That's amazing.
Really, come visit us. That's the best way to do it. 1310 7th Street, the Dingman House. Through Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, 3 to 7. And on Saturdays, noon to 2. Folks, just come through. Take a look at it. Introduce yourselves. It's magic.
You let your brother wash dishes. What day is he there?
Joe's there on Tuesdays. Then when he's done with the dishes, we go over to my house across the alley, and he gets to smoke his cigars. The cigars that he can't smoke at his home at Rosie's.
That's right. Rosie won't let him.
No way. So that's the...
he got banned from the garage, I heard.
Yeah. I got banned from the neighborhood.
Come on over Tuesdays. It's a lot of fun.
As long as I don't stink. That's it.
Well, some things you can't avoid. Joe, what are we missing here? We mentioned the address, friendsofcatholicworker.com. That's the website. And then you can, if you mail your... is it tax deductible?
Oh, it's tax deductible, yes.
Tax deductible.
Yeah.
Friends of Catholic Worker, you can make a check out to them. P.O. Box 1386, Ankeny, Iowa, 50021. What are we missing here? What's your phone number? We'll give that.
Phone number, 515-490.
Oh, my goodness.
2490. Now, Asiel, my friend from Honduras, he's 12 years old. We're hosting him in our house. He wants to say something. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Have a good day.
That's very good.
What's his name?
Asiel. Yeah, wonderful kid.
Nice
Wonderful
job.
kid.
Nice job.
Wonderful family. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping up here.
Yeah.
You look good.
Oh.
You do. You look good now. Yeah. You look better when you're next to him, but you look really good. I forget.
Well, there you have it. Thank you. I got to pay you $5
all those nice things I always say about you. I can't believe it.
I'm up here.
Mary, if you're listening, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And Grace, we'll talk at school.
He's picking on my wife and daughter. He thinks I overmarried, and I might have. But what I'm trying to get out, he comes up here, Sonny. Game started. We're doing our business, Mr. Mainring and Brian Morris, and all of a sudden, hey, we're here. We're here. Well, I knew you'd be here. I didn't know about him, but is he your chauffeur tonight?
He is the guy who's getting us back and forth.
Do you know what land this was before they built Waukee Northwest back in 2021 and opened the school? Joe?
No. What?
Do you know, Sonny? It was the...
you forgot it.
I did. I just did. Brian, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Help me out.
It was the Broderick family.
Broderick family.
Oh, the Broderick family,
Broderick.
sure.
Hey, say hello to
That's a
Sonny
big
and
Dowling.
Joe Cadero, Brian Morris.
Hey, guys.
Brian, good to see you.
You
Talk
too.
to you.
We're listening. I'm listening. I'm sitting with Monsignor Hess down here. We're listening.
Oh, you're listening?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Am I in trouble now?
Not yet. So, yeah, the Broderick family was what this land was. You told me that earlier tonight, so a little history.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
They're on holy ground.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you guys coming up.
Thank you.
Any parting words besides to my wife? And by the way, thanks for teaching her how to shoot a basketball. All she knows how to do is guard people.
Well, that was the best days, though.
6-on-6 basketball.
I want to thank
me.
you for all you do. You deserve that Hall of Fame. You deserve all the kudos you get.
You're talking to Sonny, right? Because he's the one that did the dirty work.
Well, I'll give you the $25 when we're done.
And I'll donate it to the Catholic Workhouse. That's what I would do. All right.
But thank you, Mark.
You bet, Joe. Anytime. Sonny, any parting words for our audience out there?
No. Go Dowling. God bless. Yeah.
It is a football
game. And the
game.
world will be saved by beauty. Dorothy Day. God bless.
There you go. Parting shot from Sonny Cadero. Thanks, guys. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back here at halftime at Waukee Northwest. The score, Waukee Northwest 14, Dowling 7. Back with the second half in 2 minutes on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
It started like it does for many people, question my faith and question authority. And I feel that the reason why I left was the draw of the world. The world was pulling me away. Some people would say, Satan was working on me. He did not want me in church. He wanted me to be desperate. He wanted me to have the thoughts of suicide. I started to realize that a lot of the things that I experienced in my life were a result of my rebellion against God and against authority. Coming back to the church is the first step in healing from all of the hurts of the world. I went from being desperate and in despair to finding hope and encouragement for the future. I'm on God's team. I know who I belong to, and I know where I'm going, and there's nothing that can separate me from God's love.
Take another look at the Catholic Church. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for programming is provided by construction professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
Your left. He's in.
Welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, Brian Morris. You get Dante over there, Brian. Don't be afraid to do that. He won't bite. As we get set for the second half, 14-7, Waukee Northwest leads Dowling Catholic. Matt Maindring, you got to look at our first half statistics.
Yeah, I think you can see why Coach Wilson was a little upset with it, missing some reads in the run maybe, but we had 13 carries for the Maroons for 59 yards is all. 10 of 16 passing for 120 or for 67 yards. So total offense in the first half was 126 yards on 30 plays. While Waukee Northwest 15 rushes, 39 yards is all. They didn't move the ground. They didn't move on the ground very far, but 7 of 13 passing for 117 yards for a total of 156 yards on offense. No turnovers on each side. And the big thing is they were able to move the ball through the air and make big plays when they had to. Fourth and 14, big play over the middle to get the ball inside the 10-yard line and to score. And you haven't seen that from the Maroon offense.
Our scoring in the first half went as follows. Waukee Northwest scores first. They go 8 plays, 49 yards, capped off by Caleb James. 6-yard run. Landon Steffi's extra point made it 7-0 Waukee Northwest as the Wolves score on their second possession. On Dowling's second possession, it was Rashad Davis capping off a 12-play, 85-yard drive for the Maroons. Marty Blount's extra point tied it as Davis went in from 6 yards out, 7-all, with 63 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And the only score in the second quarter was with 10:06 left to go. Quarterback Mac Heitland of Waukee Northwest, a 2-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Jordan Green. The extra point by Steffi was good, and Waukee Northwest led 14-7, and that's our score here at halftime. That capped off an 8-play, 71-yard drive. So big keys here in the second half, and I'll tell you what, Brian Morris, what are some of your keys you're looking for coming out of this second half kickoff, which Dowling will receive?
You know, guys, I think Dowling needs to establish that run game a little bit better. I think the stats Matt just said tells me they're really not moving the ball, and I think that will help loosen up that passing game, but just consistency is the key. They have that really good drive, and after that, they have a penalty here and there. It sets the Maroons back a little bit. It seems very similar to last week. It's just the offense is just kind of chugging.
And, and that drive, that long drive that they had, they relied on the run there a little bit more, and they never really got back into that. And I think you're going to see a heavy focus on that run here to start the second half. And defensively for the Maroons, it's to stop the big play.
All right, we're awaiting the second half kickoff. Waukee Northwest will defend the south end zone as Kenan Quaid is their kickoff kicker. And he will tee it up at the 40-yard line on the south end of the field. Dowling will be going right to left in front of us as we broadcast from the East Press Box. Dowling fans and the Waukee Northwest fans full tonight. Homecoming for Waukee Northwest. And back deep for the Maroons, Sam Drexler and Rashad Davis into the end zone or on the 5-yard line. And here's a short kick by Kinnan, and it bounces at the 20. Free ball, and now picked up by Rashad Davis at the 20, still on his feet, and finally brought down at about the 26 or 7-yard line. That's where the Dowling offense will start, 1st and 10. And let's see what adjustments are made. Always interesting, these second half adjustments, Matt, by both teams. We'll start with the Dowling offense against the Waukee Northwest defense here.
We will. Just a couple updates on some scores. Valley's up on Waukee 21-17 at the half. Urbandale is up on Dubuque 21-0 at the half. And the score at Ankeny Centennial Southeast Polk 10-7 at the half we called earlier. So there's a couple updates on some scores.
All right, second half underway. Dowling comes out in the pistol formation. Quarterback is Parker DePhillips. Rashad Davis in the backfield. Rashad gets a hand up right over center, and he's got running room across the 30 up near the 32-yard line. So about 6 yards on first down, right up the gut. They follow the Dowling center, and that's Carter Smith.
They do, and in Rashad in the first half, he had 64 yards rushing, 9 carries for 64 yards. It's a really good average.
Mm-hmm.
And so, 7 yards a pop, and you got to think that he's going to see the ball a little bit more here.
2nd down and 4 for the Maroons. Rashad last week, 30 carries for 125 yards and a pair of touchdowns, so he's halfway there. Handoff Rashad Davis again, and he goes over center and now bounces over to right guard and gets a couple up shy of the first down near the 34, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short for the Maroons.
Yeah, the Waukee Wolves did a nice job there with that front of creating that pile and not allowing any space for Rashad to bounce out and find a crease to get through, and so it gets stopped up, so we got 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3, they'll give him a gain of 1. Maroons go with 2 receivers left. Tight formation to the right. Quarterback Parker DePhillips out of the shotgun, and Ian Middleton the fullback. And the give is to Davis. He runs left side. He's got some room and more across the 40, and finally brought down. They're going to spot forward progress up near the 41-yard line. 1st down Maroons, gain of 8.
Good run there for Rashad. He found the crease, and Dowling offensive line and receivers did a great job of blocking and creating a gap for him as he exploded up the side and had a big gain.
Carter Barrett, the left tackle, Brady Hagan, the left guard, and Carter Smith, the center for the Maroons. Cade Krause, the right guard, and Josh Miller, the right tackle. When they get to the tight ends, it's Jacob Peterson, and now they're going to split Trey Wilson wide right of the formation, pistol formation. 1st and 10 Maroons on their own 41. They trail 14-7. Handoff goes to the backup tailback for the Maroons. That's Cohen Shelton. He gets across midfield. A little burst there at the end and picks up the first down, Matt.
Nice run by Cohen Shelton. He got hid behind the line there a little bit, got bounced up, and you watch Rashad run. Cohen Shelton just did the same thing. Got caught behind that line, then bounced it outside and exploded up the hash, and big gain.
15-yard gain for Cohen Shelton. First down, Dowling at the Northwest 44-yard line. Bruins will come out of the formation with 2 receivers left, one back in the backfield, and that's Shelton. Cohen with the handoff right up over center, and he's got big yardage inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line, and he's near another first down near the Northwest 34-yard line.
Cohen Shelton just chewing up yards, and that offensive line creates some creases for him, and nice carries there for Cohen as he comes back in.
Maroons going tempo, 2 receivers left, and we've got stoppage of play, a penalty on the play with 2 receivers left, and Rashad Davis at a timeout called by Waukee Northwest.
They did get the timeout called before the penalty.
So we'll keep it here with 9:24 to go, third quarter. Waukee Northwest 14, Dowling Catholic 7, alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. The Maroons got something going here, and they've interchanged at tailback Rashad Davis and Cohen Shelton, Brian.
Yeah, Cohen Shelton, he's a little smaller, and he can find those creases, and he has given them a spark, just like he did a couple weeks ago against Valley. He came in on one of those drives. Maroons scored a touchdown when he gave him a little spark. So maybe this is the thing this offense needs to kind of just get going here.
I'm impressed with the offensive line, Matt. We can see that up here. Barrett, Hagan, Carter Smith, Cade Krause, Josh Miller, and sometimes they bring in a 6th offensive lineman at times.
I think they had a little encouragement at halftime to get off the ball and create some holes, to create some gaps, and to fire off and not play tentative. Sometimes with young kids, they start thinking too much. And a game like last week makes just fire out and hit somebody.
All right, it's 1st and 10 Dowling at the 33 of Waukee Northwest. Handoff, Rashad Davis still on his feet inside the 30 and lunges forward down near the 27 of Northwest. Gain of 7.
Again, a good blocking up front, and Rashad doesn't need much of a crease, and he found it, danced through there, spun around, got some yards, and you can tell Coach Wilson said we're going to run the ball.
And Brian, one thing I noticed, the Dowling defense on the sideline. That's even a better sign.
No, yeah, give them a little bit of rest, guys. That's for sure. Give them some time because they've been on the field a lot these last several weeks.
Maroons have taken the opening kickoff here in the second half and kept the ball almost 4 minutes. Handoff right up the gut they go, and running for a first down and more is Rashad Davis. Inside the 20, down near the 18-yard line of Northwest, gain of 9.
And you say, well, why are they getting so many yards up the middle? Well, when you spread the defense out, you've got more men than they do in the middle of the field, and if you hit it quick, there's gaps.
10-yard gain for Davis, and now they give it back to Rashad. Squirts out of a tackle, and he may go inside the 10, angling for the pylon. Touchdown, Rashad Davis over left guard. That was cut off. He spun around and went lateral, and then he cut up outside the numbers, and he goes in from 17 yards out, and Dowling 1 point away from tying the ball game.
Phenomenal run, and that's why you have to keep playing defense when he's on the field, because a kid had him around the ankles. He breaks out of it, behind the line of scrimmage, sprints to the edge, one-on-one touchdown.
So Rashad Davis, a 17-yard run for the touchdown. Dowling takes the opening kickoff and scores in just under 4 minutes, and Marty Blount's extra point is good, and we're tied at 14, Dowling and Waukee Northwest here at Northwest High School in Waukee with 8:22 to go third quarter. We're tied at 14, Dowling and Waukee Northwest. Back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Mercy One is proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Mercy One has convenient locations right in your neighborhood. From unexpected illnesses to regular checkups, Mercy One is here for you. Schedule online at mercyone.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Hi, this is Deacon Dennis Lambert from the Diocese of Phoenix. When we listen to Catholic radio, we receive encouragement, strength, and most importantly, we receive the truth. Simply put, we need Catholic radio because we are and we become that which we surround ourselves with. So I encourage you to tune in, inspire up, and to wrap yourselves in the warm arms of faith, life, and love.
Iowa Catholic Radio is needed now more than ever.
And welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School. Dowling kicking off and returned by Northwest. They get it up to the 27-yard line where the Wolves will take it 1st and 10. With 8:18 to go here in the third quarter, we're tied at 14. And Brian Morris, Dowling going on an 8-play, 74-yard drive, capped off by Rashad Davis. 17-yard run, and Brian, no passing plays, all run, and all 8 plays.
Yeah, the team came out fired out. I think, Matt, you said it well, man. The offensive line came out, just go hit somebody and make something happen, and they came out and all the running plays, and Rashad Davis made a great run there to get in the end zone.
All right, Waukee now with the football on a first down from their own 27-yard line, and Caleb James on the carry.
Caleb James is a nice run on first down and gets 5 yards off of it here as he spun around and broke one tackle early.
He gets up to the 32-yard line, and now Wolves now with the pass over to Sweeney, and it's caught, and he's shy of the first down by about a yard.
They've had a little success with that quick screen out there as they feel like they have numbers on that edge and are able to get the quick first, or able to get 4 yards on that play.
3rd and 1 from the 36-yard line, gain of 4 that time. The handoff goes to James, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and the Maroons think they got the football.
Yeah, who's got the ball? No sign.
And it'll bring up.
I think they're just saying it's short of the first down.
They'll bring up 4th and 1. They did not get the first down. 4th and a short yard for the Wolves.
They gave him yardage on that, which kind of surprised me because he was met behind the line of scrimmage and stopped. And fell forward, yeah.
He fell forward. So it's 4th and 1, 7 minutes to go, third quarter, and the Wolves bringing in their punting unit.
Well, I don't think so. I think they're bringing in the heavies.
They got 20 on the game clock, on the play clock. And if you see number 16 come in, that's their punter. They're still interchanging. 10 on the play clock. They may have to use a timeout.
They're going to use a timeout.
And they are.
They had a mess.
We'll take a 1-minute break. 6:39 remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling and Waukee Northwest tied at 14 on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
From Indianola to Saylorville and everywhere at iowacatholicradio.com or the Iowa Catholic Radio app. Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ.
All right, we're back here at Waukee Northwest Stadium. The Wolves going for it on 4th and 1 from their own 36-yard line.
It's going to be the initial surge, and where is it, a right foot or a left foot?
Yeah, that's not a good spot for Dowling. Brian, what do you see? You're on the sideline. 4th
right
and 1.
Right foot or left foot spot?
It was the spotter over by the Waukee sideline who gave the spot. So Dowling didn't like. They thought the spotter on their side was. I think it was a bad spot, guys.
First, they should. I don't know why. In high school football anymore, why don't we measure it ever?
Because you got field turf. The field is
still. Yeah. That to me, you still measure that. I don't understand.
They spot the ball at the 37-yard line, gain of 1.
And it doesn't matter what we think anymore.
That's right. It never has. Heitland on the quarterback sneak, and now here's James again, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Good job by the Maroon defense. Joel, Sanko, and company, Matt.
And Carter Smith comes up with a big stop in the backfield. He blew through that line, and there's your senior leader coming out after halftime and saying, we want to make a difference in this football game. And he got in the backfield, makes a big stop, loss of 3 on the play, or loss of 2.
We're going to move it back to the 35 for a loss of 2. And Heitland again. The swing pass goes out to Isaiah Oliver, and they corral him. He's a tough one to get down, and Isaiah is brought down maybe a yard up to the 36, and that's it on a little swing pass.
Parker Pearson just keeps making plays out there, and he did it right there. He had it in space. There's a one-on-one play for him out there on the wide side of the field, and he made it. An ankle tackle, 3rd and 13, and for a loss of 1 there.
Loss of 1, yes.
Great play.
Loss of 1 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 13 for the Wolves. Line of scrimmage, their own 34-yard line. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, third quarter, tied at 14. Handoff goes to tailback, and he's snowed under. That's a tackle for loss back at the 37.
Here's a name we've been calling tonight. He was the leading tackler at halftime, and that is, again, Ryan Bobo. Making plays in there.
Back to the 32-yard line, James loses 2 yards. So the Maroons, Brian Morris, don't hold them on 4th and 1, but they have negative yardage the rest of the way.
Yeah, guys, and I think the thing I love, the whole Dowling team offense was up here cheering that defense on during that drive. Everybody, this sideline has a lot more energy, guys, than last week.
Eastman with the punt, angling out of bounds, and the Maroons will have it right around the 35-yard line. As Dowling with twin safeties back there with Jack Barrett and Trey Wilson. So Dowling with the first down at their own 38. That's where Maroons will take over. And, Matt, the Dowling offense, we haven't seen a pass in the second half yet. It's been all run Maroons.
And we might not for a while until they prove they can stop it. You get a defensive series like that gets me fired up. And I think the 4th and short and then making it so it's a questionable call, even fired up that defense more to get them to fire off the football and make that stand.
Brian was asking about a spark. I think this is a spark that he was looking for in the second quarter last week, Brian.
It really is, guys. And, again, I want to talk to Coach at the end of the game, see what he talked at halftime, because this team has come out with a lot more energy in the second half.
That's what we want to hear from our sideline guy. Handoff for Rashad Davis. He runs right side over right guard and tackle. And brought down at the 42-yard line for a gain of 4, maybe 5 up to the 43, and they'll mark it there.
And again, that offensive line is firing out there, that time over the right side over Krause and Miller, and pulled an extra guy again. You got Ian Milton out there leading and just getting a surge right now and putting that defense on their heels.
Game clock down to 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. We're tied, folks, 7-all. Waukee Northwest and Dowling Catholic. You're on a beautiful Friday night. Warm night, but the sun went down. It's starting to cool off. Dowling with a 2nd and 6. Parker to Phillips went the distance at quarterback. Handoff for Rashad Davis right over center, and he's stacked up as he's just shy of the 45. They'll mark it back at the 44. Gain of 1. So the Wolves defense tightening up a little.
Yeah, he bounced through there a little bit like a gazelle. He was hopping over guys, and as they're trying to just dive and make piles a little bit, not giving Rashad any place to go, and was able to squirt through for a couple yards.
Front 4 of Waukee Northwest, Jack Vineyard, Braden Williams, Anel Hecko, and Jackson Davis. There's the front 4. Linebackers Joe Vineyard, Tanner Jackson, Brady Fritz. Here's DeYoung on 3rd and 4. Back to throw is DeYoung. First pass of the second half. It's caught. Trey Wilson, first down and more. Down the far sideline goes Trey. Inside the 30. It's a foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, Trey Wilson. How about that? A 56-yard reception by Trey Wilson. And who says the Maroons have to pass? Well, they did. First pass of the second half goes for 6.
First pass of the second half, and you got a little glimpse right there of the speed of Trey Wilson that he has. He got a step on the defender and then was able to make the initial juke. He gets down the sideline, cuts across the middle of the field to lose another defender into the end zone. The momentum has turned.
And the Maroons have taken their first lead of the night. Marty Blount in for the extra point. To Phillips will hold, low snap, but he gets it up. And the ball is down, kick over through the uprights, good. And Dowling with its first lead, 21-14 over Waukee Northwest. That stops the clock with 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Back with the kickoff here at Waukee Northwest High School. Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14, back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
The celebrated English convert John Henry Cardinal Newman pointed out that the Catholic Church can be likened to a tiny acorn which grows into a tree. Though it looks entirely different, it remains in its essence the same thing. Likewise, a human being grows from a tiny child to an adolescent to adulthood to old age, and he remains the same person with the same DNA. So too the Church grows and develops as the living body of Christ. Of course, the church of over 1 billion people today is not a mirror image of the relatively tiny church in the first century Mediterranean that we read about in the New Testament, nor should it be. The church's organization and outward forms are dynamic, not static, and must change to meet the needs of the age. Yet the church remains the same church, believing the same faith. The church's doctrine also grows and develops, never contradicting itself, but deepening with years of reflection and clarification. For instance, it was not until Christ's divinity was denied that the Nicene Council gave us the creed we profess each Sunday at Mass, which states precisely what we do and do not believe about our Lord. And so grows the church until the consummation of time. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
All right, we're back here at Waukee Northwest High School. Here's the kickoff by Marty Blount, fielded at the 5-yard line by the Wolves. And on the return, hit and dropped is the return man across the 20. And that was Jordan Green. Dowling going 3 plays, 62 yards. The first pass caught, touchdown. Trey Wilson from Parker DePhillips of 56 yards, Brian Morris. How about that after 10 consecutive rushing plays?
Yeah, and Trey is very quick, guys, and he made one move and he was gone. Then he cut back and nobody could catch him. But on that kickoff, Dowling is hitting really hard, guys, tonight. Dylan Manning just drilled that guy.
Yeah, I was thinking that was the duo of Ducharme and Manning right there. Just cut that kickoff down. I ran into Parker DePhillips' uncle last night, Max, and he said Uncle Max is the one that taught him to throw all the catching in the backyard. That's why Parker DePhillips can wing it like he does.
So all the relatives are going to step up.
Yeah,
all right. Here is the Wolves from their own 23 on 2nd and 10. Pass is caught. Nice catch that time in traffic. Isaiah Oliver with the reception. And let's see where they spot him up to about the 24-yard line or so, 26-yard line, gain of 3, and I'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Wolves.
Brian talked about this. This game has to be played with emotion, and you have to come out with some emotion, controlled emotion, and we didn't see it last week. Tonight after halftime, you see it.
All right, here's quarterback Heitland rolling to his right, will keep it, and he's finally hit, and he's dropping. Dowling's got the football, they think. And they're going to say the quarterback was down, but the ball came loose. And it'll bring up 4th and 5.
Joel Sanko came up and laid a lick on Heitland right there as Heitland put his head down to run. And I don't know if we're going to see that replay again. That doesn't matter. But he stuck him, and that ball popped out.
Gain of 2.
It must have said his knee went down.
And they'll bring up 4th down, and Eastman in the punt for the Wolves. Stands his own 15, gets it away, end over end kick. Fair catch signal by Trey Wilson. He falls down. Now the ball is loose, and who's got it? Wilson fell down.
Still loose.
And nobody's got it, and now Dowling says they're on top of it on the scrum, and they are. You can see it from our angle. So Dowling will have it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, and they got a break there because that would have turned the tide right away.
Anthony Bonanno comes out of that thing with a football, and you'd think that ball is that shape for a reason. It just squirts around and everything else, and Bonanno comes out with it.
Well, Brian, I'm not sure Trey lost it in the lights or in the scoreboard, but he misplayed that one.
He did, and he kind of slipped a little bit on the turf, and then he was kind of on his back, and then it was a free game, and it was a little messy down there, and thank goodness Anthony Bonanno came up with that football.
So Bonanno recovers the muff punt. If Waukee would have picked it up, they can't advance it. And the Maroons recover. So it's 1st and 10, Dowling from their own 25-yard line. A minute 22 to go, 3rd quarter. Dowling leading 21-14 over Northwest. DePhillips remains the quarterback. Handoff right up the middle. And that looks like Cohen Shelton, and it is.
Yeah.
Shelton with the carry.
Cohen Shelton's coming in and giving some nice bursts here and giving Rashad a break and getting some air, keeping those legs fresh. And it does give a nice little different look for the Maroons.
Yeah, you have different styles of running between Rashad Davis. Ian Middleton has played that spot the first 2 games of the year, and now it's Rashad Davis, and Shelton stays in there. 2 receivers to the right, tied in on the left for the Maroons here. High snap at DePhillips, hands it off to Shelton over left guard, and he is hit and dropped, and a penalty flag down. They're going to get Waukee Northwest for face mask right at the 20 or 33-yard line, Matt.
Yeah, and that'll be a personal foul kind, I would imagine, and so they'll tack on a lot of yardage here. But Cohen and Shelton run the ball hard.
Yeah, 3-yard gain, and then tack on a few more yards on the play. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Blessman International, Bozen the Florist, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. That 15-yard penalty, Brian, on the face mask for Waukee Northwest gives Dowling an automatic first down at their own 48.
And, the Maroons have beat this team 4 times. You give them a chance to feel like they're in the game. I can feel the momentum definitely on the Maroons sideline, and you can see the heads being hung a little bit on the Northwest side.
All right, first down, Dowling. Thank you, Brian, for that report. The handoff Cohen Shelton. He squirts right through, right over center and right guard, and picks up good yardage inside the 50 down to the 46 of Northwest.
What I like about Cohen Shelton right there is he stuck his foot in the ground once he found his alley, and he put his head down and ran and picked up those 6-7 yards, and that was a nice, strong run by him.
And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Our score, Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14, alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, Brian Morris on the sideline. We'll return with the fourth quarter in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
And welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School on a beautiful night for week 4 of the high school football season. We start the fourth quarter. Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14. Dowling out of the pistol formation and a first down from the Northwest 46-yard line. And a handoff goes, I think Shelton's still in there, and he's hit and dropped for no gain right at the 45-yard line.
That was Rashad Davis on that one as he got into the line and was stopped up. Jack Vineyard on the stop for the Wolves.
He'll lose a yard.
Yeah.
He'll gain a yard. Gain a yard.
Yeah, he got piled up right away. So big third down right here.
Middleton in at fullback. They're bringing extra linemen in. 2 receivers split out to the right. Dowling going left to right, south to north here at the Wolves Stadium. As we're underway here in the fourth quarter. Snap goes to Rashad Davis. Wants to run right, and boy, their pursuit, they've locked him up. Now they're going to force Dowling to punt it away. And actually, in the next series, keep that in mind. The way they're playing the run, Maroon's going to have an open receiver in the future here, Matt.
They give him no gain on that, or they, so it's still 4th and 4. And I think if he'd got half the yardage there, I think Coach would have thought twice. And
they lost a yard.
Lost a yard, so they send the punt team out there. That's one of those things where you didn't want a quarter break. The momentum was all going, and then the quarter.
Right. So back deep for Northwest will be Jordan Green, number 6, and Josiah DeYoung, number 8. And they'll stand right around their 10-yard line, anticipating the punt from Jackson Smith. Came in averaging just under 40 yards a punt into this contest. And waiting the snap from Wyatt Jones. 21-14 Dowling.
Tried to pull him offside there. You got Dylan Manning giving the snap count from his back position right there and trying to draw him off sides, and no jump, take the penalty.
So that'll move the ball back to the Dowling 49-yard line. Delay of game on the Maroons, so it'll bring up 4th and 9. And now we'll redo it with Wyatt Jones ready to snap the ball to Jackson Smith at his own 35. Gets it away, high. Wobbly kick, fair catch signaled for, and right at the 20-yard line is where the Wolves will have it 1st and 10 to start their drive. With 10:17 to go in the fourth quarter, Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14. And down to the sideline to our own Brian Morris. Brian?
Yeah, with that Maroons defense, how they're playing the second half, guys, it's a game of averages now. You punt it, you make them drive 80 yards if they have to, but I think that was a good call by Coach.
Yeah, field position is a big part of this game, Matt, and the way the Dowling defense is playing here, why wouldn't you?
Yep.
First down, Wolves from their own 21 they spot it with 10:15 left to play here in the fourth, and they run the ball. Koning, who missed last year with a broken hand, back in. He's a fullback, and he got the carry there.
He did, up the middle, and he got tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't tell who got a foot there, but then he stumbled, and then it's Ducharme and Manning finishing it off.
Gain of 3. Dowling defense playing lights out tonight. Kyle Schumacher got the start at linebacker. Jackson Miller has played and thought he was going to be ruled out of the game, but we've seen him in there. Aiden Ducharme, Dylan Manning, and Joel Sanko, the linebackers. Joe Smerdla, Parker Pierce at the corners, and Will Barretto and Jake Schall interchanging at safety. And now quarterback Heitland wants to run with the football, and he runs out of bounds for a first down.
He did, as he got run out of bounds, and is there going to be a flag there?
I see a flag on the far sideline.
Yeah,
now the referee comes over and huddles with his partner
I think
here,
there was
Matt.
a block in the back when the quarterback broke out. I saw a defender flying forward.
Dowling coaches saw that, and it'll be holding or legal use of hands on the Wolves. That'll back them up, and that'll be a spot foul. So that'll wipe out Heitland's gain up to the 36-yard line, gain of 12. That'll be wiped out.
Yeah, they go back to the line of scrimmage. Well, it ends up being wipes out the gain. So now it's
back to the original.
10. Yeah,
original line of scrimmage is where the penalty is marked off. So it's second down 10.
The one thing you see defensively right now is that Dowling's going a little more cover 2, which means they have 2 safeties deep, and they got burned by enough of those long plays early on, the long pass plays. So they're giving some help to their corners over the top.
All right, here's out of the shotgun. And a handoff goes to Koning, and Will trying to get outside and hit and driven down from behind. Doesn't have the speed the other tailbacks do, but he's a strong runner. And he angles across the 35 up near the 36, or 26 rather.
Yeah, they did. They were able to seal the edge there on the wide side of the field and allowed Koning to get out on the outside and run to the numbers, and got a nice gain there for the Wolves.
6-yard gain for Will Koenig, the 5'11", 220-pound fullback, and now a little swing pass caught by Kevin Schaller, the tight end, and he's got the first down. Nice little play that time with the tight end. They haven't thrown to him much tonight, but that time they did.
Yeah, they sneak him out of the backfield there to the wide side of the field, and he becomes the responsibility of the linebacker, Manning, on that, and he got a step on him, and Manning was able to chase him down, push him out of bounds, but not before he could get a first down.
10-yard reception for Schaller. Gavin Schaller, a 6'2", 200-pound tight end. Going up tempo here. Quarterback Heitland back to throw now on running the ball to his left towards the Dowling sideline and finally run out of bounds as he crosses the 40 up to the 41-yard line. Gains 4.
He ran a long ways on that and was able to get some good yardage. Now, as I said, Dowling went to that cover 2 format, so that doesn't give them as much of a rush, and is going to allow Heitkamp to get out there and create some or Heitland to get some room and space.
21-14 Dowling. 8:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 5. Toss play right side Koning, and he's hitting the backfield, and guess who? Joel Sanko. Hello. And he makes the stop. The junior with the tackle for loss.
Quick toss to the wide side of the field as he tries to run to the edge, and Joel Sanko come up and just and cut him in half there as he tried to get to the edge, and great tackle in the open field by Joel.
Loss of 4 on the toss play to the right for Koenig. Tried to get outside the numbers, and he didn't, so it'll bring up 3rd and 10 Northwest from their own 37. They go right to left, north to south. Little swing pass to the right, and the pass is dropped, incomplete. Dowling had that well read. If he would have caught it, it would have been a short gain. It brings up 4th and 10 Wolves from their own 37.
And Dowling brought one extra guy there. They had a little extra pressure on Heitland as he dropped back, and he had to throw it short. And even if he would have caught it, it wouldn't have been a first down. Dowling had that thing covered up very well, and so they get the ball back here, and a big drive for the offense here to try and get the ball and go down and put them up by 2 scores.
Back deep for Dowling is Jack Barrett and Trey Wilson. Standing at their own 30-yard line, awaiting Eastman's punt. Gets it away. High spirally kick. Fair catch signaled by Wilson, and Trey makes the catch at his own 35-yard line. That's for the Dowling offense. Will start 1st and 10 with 8:04 remaining, fourth quarter. And the Maroons with a 21-14 lead over Waukee Northwest alongside Matt Maindring. Mark Hamadale. Let's go down to Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. Brian, give us an update.
Yeah, that last tackle by Joel. He goes 200 pounds. The running back for the Waukee, he goes about 240. So he made the right read. He tackled him low. That's about the only place you want to tackle a guy that big.
Yeah.
And then they went back to the tight end in the next play, Brian, and then dropped the football. As I think they went to the tight end. It might have been to Schaller or Toit. And Wolves' offense kind of struggling here. Dowling defense has stepped up. There's your energy. All right, Maroons come out. Pistol formation. Middleton the fullback. Rashad Davis in at tailback. Parker DePhillips at quarterback. Looks left, throws over the middle, and he missed him on the slant. Scow on the slant. Yeah, incomplete.
He had him, and he had Scow coming across the middle wide open as the defender slipped a little bit and just put a little too much heat on that one. That one had a little much mustard on it, you might say, and Scow couldn't get to it.
He couldn't get to it, but if he did, that would have been an interesting foot race to the end zone because the corner was about 10 yards behind him.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 Dowling. Line of scrimmage to Dowling 35. Maroons lead it 21-14. Clock stopped at 8 minutes to go, fourth quarter. And the Maroons have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Northwest with just 1 timeout. Keep that in mind as the game progresses. DePhillips on the handoff, and Rashad Davis slides through a couple tackles, sidesteps another, and gets up to the 40-yard line, gain of 5. And that was a tough 5 to get.
That was a tough 5, and it didn't look like there was anything there, and Rashad could make something out of nothing, and he was able to squirt through, make a couple guys miss, and pick up some decent yards. They even give him 6 yards there, so 3rd and 4, and gives you a lot of options here on 3rd down.
The Maroons now, as you mentioned, coming up with a 3rd down play, 3rd and 4 for the Maroons from their own 40. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. One back in the backfield, Davis. He's back to block. Now DePhillips are going to be brought down. Parker looking everywhere, and everybody was covered, all 4 receivers, and he had Davis in blocking. I'll bring up 4th down with the sack.
Austin Van Horn was able to get him down from behind, and the offense again stalls out a little bit as Van Horn makes a good play, gets the sack, and the punt team runs onto the field.
So a sack on the play for the Wolves. Clock running under 7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see here again this defense, and as they go out there, as Waukee tries to take some shots, and the defense is going to have to stand tall.
All right, here is the punt by the Maroons, and angling out of bounds with the punt by Jackson Smith, and they'll have it right around the 32-yard line is where they'll spot it for Northwest. So the Wolves offense back on the field, 6:38 to go here in the fourth quarter. They'll have a first down at their own 32-yard line. Let's go back down the field where Brian Morris is at. Brian?
Yeah, guys, again, the defense is going to be called into action here to make the stop. They've had a great second half here. And if they can do one more stop, I think that'll just give the Maroons a little bit of opportunity, and probably they'll come out and run the ball just to use some clock because Northwest only has 1 timeout left.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, the quarterback for Heitland rolls to his right and under duress fires it away. It's incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 32-yard line for the Wolves.
And that cover 2 look has given them a little bit of a different, it's something they hadn't probably prepped for. We haven't seen it very much out of us, but have the 2 safeties back really has given the extra coverage they need.
All right, Heitland back to throw, angles downfield. He throws it in double coverage, and it's picked off by the Maroons. Will Barretto picks it off right around the 35-yard line. The intended receiver was Isaiah Oliver, and Barretto, the free safety, did his job.
He did his job, and and you do that cover 2 look, and what it means is you have 2 safeties that have half the field. It allows coverage for the corner to play it a little bit tighter underneath. And in the first half, that was a one-on-one play down the sideline. He might have caught that ball, but Barretto played the ball the whole way, read it, makes the high points the ball, and big turnover for the Maroons.
Maroons with a first down at their own 30-yard line. How about that one, Mr. Morris, right in front of you?
Yeah, it was a very nice play by Barreto, and again, the Maroons defense has come up big in this second half, guys.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Construction Professionals, Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, and Mercy One. DePhillips with a first down from his own 30. Back to pass he goes, and he led his receiver incomplete, and that's to Jake Scow. As back on defense was Blake Ludwig for Northwest.
Yeah, and that was the same play they started the last series with, except for on the other side of the field. So the last time it was to the right side, this time, to the quarterback's other side, and the pass is there, and just the timing on that is so hard.
All right, 2nd and 10, Maroons from their own 30-yard line. Now the Maroons going with a check with me as Rashad Davis in the backfield. Trey Wilson one-on-one, split out wide left. DePhillips back to he hands it off to Rashad Davis, and he goes through with the fake. Right before the pre-snap, Trey Wilson said, "Hey, I got single coverage out here." It was probably the right, but they handed it off to Rashad to run the clock.
Yeah,
and he picks up a couple.
That's a tough one right there, and Trey's going, "I got him," and but they run up the middle, run some clock, be conservative there, and now it's 3rd and 8
from the 32-yard line. Dowling leading by 7, 21-14 here at Waukee Northwest. Packed house, Waukee Northwest homecoming. And then the Maroons look like they want to take a timeout, and they will. So with 5:38 to go, it'll be 3rd and 8 out of the Dowling timeout. That's their first of the second half. We'll take a 1-minute break and return. Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14 on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Faith Check with Greg Ewell on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
I once spoke with a priest of a large suburban parish with thousands of members who told me that he could count on one hand the number of dinner invitations he had received over the past year from his parishioners. This shocked me, as I knew he was very busy with his ministry, and I assumed that he was frequently invited to homes and activities of his parishioners. Yet such was not the case. Indeed, it is easy to take our priests for granted. Our priests are men who have sacrificed everything, marriage, family, children, for the sake of the gospel. And yet they are but men, who like everyone need to be encouraged, welcomed, and loved. Let us find ways to involve them in the lives of our families. Let us pray for them that they will grow in the grace of God and be protected from the attacks of the enemy. And let us pray the Lord to send more priestly laborers into the harvest fields, so that the people of God might be sanctified, supported, and led in our earthly pilgrimage toward our Father's house. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
And welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School. Dowling with a 3rd and 8 from their own 32, and DePhillips back to throw, and he goes down, sacked in the backfield. That's the second consecutive series where quarterback Parker DePhillips goes down. It'll bring up 4th and long. 4th and 15 for Dowling, and the punting unit in, Matt.
You're giving 2 series here where they're giving Waukee the ball back and backing up here a little bit. Fitz gets the sack for the Wolves, as DePhillips didn't have time or didn't have coverage on that, and so Dowling's punting away.
Certainly are, as Jackson Smith in to field the punt, stands back at his 10-yard line and gets the punt away. Might have been partially blocked, but it takes a Dowling bounce at midfield. Rolls to the 45 and still rolling, and down to about the 42-yard line of Waukee. So Waukee Northwest will take over 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line, 4:45 to go. And boy, that was big. Dowling not picking up a first down on that last series, Matt.
Not as big as him getting that punt off right there, because that was almost blocked, and that would have been 7 points the other way, and back there against the end zone. So a great job of getting the punt off. Now the defense is tested again.
They certainly are. We'll go down to Brian Morris after this play. First down, Waukee Northwest from their own 42-yard line. And the handoff goes to Koenig. And he scampers Will Koenig across the 41 or 42 and maybe the 43 for a gain of 1. Brian Morris, come on in. Maroons got a break there with the Wolves putting on the punt pressure.
They were, guys. They came out in the block formation because they only put one guy back, and they really loaded the box, and Dowling was very fortunate to get that punt off.
All right, 2nd and 9 for the Wolves. Back to throw is Heitland. Throws it right, and he underthrew his receiver. Jordan Green incomplete, and Green had a few players escorting him. Ryan Boble was one who dropped back in coverage, and I think a linebacker was out there too, Matt.
You're seeing a lot of different looks from the defense now, a lot of different pass coverage looks, and so it's really given Heitland a messy read, so he's not able to see what he was seeing in the first half and causing a lot of disruption.
All right, Heitland with 3 receivers left. It's 3rd and 9 for the Wolves with 4:10 to go. And now Heitland makes a move, fires the ball off his back foot, incomplete. He tried to hit his intended receiver, Isaiah Oliver, and at the last minute had to avoid a Dowling rusher, and he sidearmed it, and it fell incomplete.
He did, and Joel Sanko was in pursuit. Bobo almost had him in for a loss, and Heitland was able to get loose, threw it on the run, a really athletic play, and then was able to get broken up.
Well, the Wolves now look like they're going to punt it away. Eastman will come in. He is their punter.
Yeah, and you know, Dowling hasn't proved they can move the ball in the last 2 series, so I think punting it away here is the right play with 4 minutes left. But again, only 1 timeout. That's a big, as you noted earlier, Mark.
Wolves with just 1 timeout. Here's the snap. Eastman gets it away. Spirally kick going out of bounds right around the 30-yard line. Let's see how they angle that.
That is pretty short.
33-yard line is where Dowling will start. 1st and 10. 4:01 remaining. 4th quarter. Dowling leading 21-14. It's been a great game. The Maroons trailed at halftime 14-7, but touchdown by Rashad Davis of 17 yards and Trey Wilson's 56-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Parker DePhillips has given Dowling the lead here in the second half, and now the Maroon offense back on the field.
They are, and this is a big series. Here's where you line up and you say, can we run the football? We have to be able to run the football. The Maroons are going to say, we got to get 2 first downs, and they could put this in the books.
All right, DePhillips, the quarterback, handoff for Rashad Davis, bounces outside, and gets across the 35, up near the 38-yard line. He'll pick up 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. The clock continues to run under 4 minutes to play.
Rashad Davis, nice run there as he got to the edge. They walled it off and allowed him to escape out the side and picks up 5 yards on first down.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, Ashworth Vision Clinic, and Blessman International. Maroons letting that play clock run down. It's at 15 right now. We mentioned Northwest with 1 timeout remaining. Dowling has 2. We'll move Trey Wilson. Put him in motion left to right. 2 receivers right now for Dowling. Handoff Rashad Davis looking for a hole. Now scampers right. He's got the first down and more into the secondary and into Wolves territory. Across the 50 down to the 42-yard line. What a run by Rashad Davis. Waited for his lineman and then exploded when he got in the open field.
Great run by Rashad Davis as he was able to get out from behind that line of scrimmage and explode down the sideline and create some open space for himself and took about 4 guys to get him down.
20-yard run for Rashad Davis. 1st and 10. Dowling at the 42 of Northwest. Under 3 minutes to play. Maroons now get that play clock down under 10 before they snap it. Wide receiver to the left is Sam Drexler. And 1 receiver to the right. Pistol formation. And here is Cohen Shelton with the carry. Cohen, the junior running back, 5'7", 170. And he runs between the tackles for about a yard.
He runs like he's about 190. I mean, he runs with a little more weight than that. I really like the way when he puts his foot down, he decides he's running vertical, he's getting vertical. And gets the yardage that he can, and it's played well for him tonight.
And you're going against those big guys on both sides of the ball, and he just needs a sliver.
Yeah.
And they're going to give him no gain officially, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 Dowling from the Northwest 42. Pistol formation, 2 receivers right for the Maroons. Long count as they get the play clock almost down to 0. Handoff Shelton. Goes over right guard and tackle inside the 40. They'll spot him down right around the 38. Gain of 4.
Gain of 4, and here you go. Now you got 1 more play, and you're thinking here it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. You get a first down here, and it's over, and Waukee uses a timeout.
We'll keep it here with minute 50 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14. Alongside Matt Maindring, Mark Hamadale, Brian Morris. We haven't heard from you in a while during this drive where the clock's been Dowling's ally. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the Maroons have been bringing in, the double tight end. They bring in the other freshman tackle, Evan Mitchell. He's opening up some holes here on the right side. So bringing in a little bit more beef to move the chains, guys.
And I like what the Dowling offensive line coaches, Casey Shelton and Andy Pollock, just coaching up those linemen. And as Brian mentioned, sometimes there's 5, sometimes there's 6 or 7 in there as they bring in a couple backup linemen in to play, tight end, but they're really not playing tight end, Matt.
No, they aren't. They're just in there, and they're moving bodies. And right here, this is will against will. And Rashad Davis came out for a play or so. Hurt his arm a little bit on that last run that he had. So he's in here on this big 3rd down and 6 play.
3rd and 6, Dowling. The line of scrimmage, the 38 of Waukee Northwest. Handoff Rashad Davis, right side. Finds a hole, and he's got the first down, and he stays in bounds. Wanted to run out of bounds, but he just fell down as he picked up the first down and found the traffic.
That's a senior move right there as he realized he was by the sticks and stayed inside the field of play, gets the first down. And I think you can do the victory formation now.
Yeah, they're inside.
This is every coach's favorite play right here.
They're inside their 28-yard line, inside the 30. So a 10-yard gain for Davis. And let's see if they go to the victory formation. Jackson Miller was in there momentarily, and now they'll go with 2 fullbacks out of the shotgun. Parker DePhillips, he has Rashad Davis in the backfield. He'll just take a knee. And Waukee Northwest out of timeouts. Minute 10 to go. And Brian Morse, we're going to have to talk about players of the game to talk to tonight.
I think we got to talk to Ryan Bobo. He was in there all game. Maybe Carter Smith, the senior lineman who's the captain. Maybe have a couple of the big beef guys talk to me tonight.
Well, I was looking at Parker Pearson just because they have tested that young man over and over again, and he's come up big. And
see, you're always picking defense. I like that.
You could do Trey Wilson.
Yeah, we could do Trey.
Here's another snap, and Parker.
We'll get Carter Smith one of these times.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with Carter Smith too.
Takes a knee. As the Maroons
we get a flag late here, and
Josh Miller
they're going to
kind of overreacted, and now Maroons get over to their sideline as penalty flags down. 27 seconds remaining, 21-14 Dowling, and officials are sorted all out. And this is kind of how it sounds when we start talking off the air. It's like, okay, who do we want on? So we got Carter Smith, Ryan Bobo, Parker Pearson. Brian, anybody else? I was going to put Trey Wilson in there.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do Trey. Let's do Trey Wilson, and let's do Bobo tonight.
I like that.
You good Trey with that, Mr. Maindring?
Yep.
Trey and Bobo.
Here's the thing, Brian. You and I don't have to walk the halls Monday through Friday, but Mr. Maindring does.
Trust me, guys. We'll get these players
on. He'll get phone calls from alumni and parents.
I know.
And I'm not talking about the uniform. I'm talking about, hey, how come you didn't have my grandson on?
I know. It's hard to get everybody on.
All right, they sorted out and offsetting penalties, so we'll bring up 3rd down for the Maroons, 3rd and 20 as they work the clock. 10 seconds remaining. And Dowling may use a timeout here on 3rd and 20.
We had a moment here, Brian. You had Bobo and Trey standing right by each other on the sidelines here.
It'll work. It'll work. The last time I laughed because I interviewed Coach Wilson, and Trey was in diapers one of my first years. And that's
right. Yeah,
Trey was running around the field in diapers. It was just kind of, that makes me feel really old.
And here he is, an 18-year-old senior.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here we go. They reset the clock. 16 seconds remaining on the game clock. Play clock has 10, and that'll do it. DePhillips takes a knee, and the Maroons will pick up a win. Dowling final score 21-14. The Maroons defeat Waukee Northwest, and what a battle it was. Dowling trailed at halftime 14-7, but what a second half by the Maroons. The defense pitches a shutout in the second half, and the offense scores a rushing touchdown and a 56-yard touchdown pass to Trey Wilson.
They did, and it was the big plays for the Maroons in that second drive, and I think that defense, the adjustments they made at halftime really shut it down and gave those young skill players from Waukee Northwest a little bit of a challenge. And the defensive side, Waukee played well, But in the end, just a well-played football game, a lot of fun, and here we are.
That's right. Here we are. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Brady Grimm back tonight, our Iowa Catholic Radio, our longtime producer who is now in the real estate business with Mr. Morris, and we appreciate him doing his side gig tonight on this Friday night, being with us on Iowa Catholic Radio. And we'll come back with our post-game show. That includes interviews on the field with Brian Morris, and, of course, Mr. Manion is going through some of the scores right now from other games going on across the Central Iowa Metro League, and a lot of top 10 matchups. Number 1, Waukee, and number 4, Valley over at Valley Stadium, and 10th-ranked Southeast Polk, and number 2, Centennial up in Ankeny. Those are top 10 games in Class 5A. We'll also catch up with Ankeny and Johnston. Johnston ranked 9th. Ankeny, the preseason number 1, unranked. And we'll catch up with all of that. Final score, 21-14, Dowling Catholic over Waukee Northwest. We'll take a 2-minute break and return for our postgame show on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Mercy One is proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Mercy One helps you live your best life. Find personalized care for you and your loved ones at mercyone.org.
Support for programming funded by Blessment International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmentinternational.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
This is Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers. I know for a fact that we have brothers and sisters who are not Catholic, who are not even believers in Jesus, who listen to Catholic radio because they're looking for something that's going to edify their souls. They're searching for truth, and they're not finding it in sports radio or political talk radio. They're finding it with Catholic radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio is needed now more than ever.
Have you downloaded the Iowa Catholic Radio app? It's easy through the Apple App Store on iPhone or through Google Play on Android. Search Iowa Catholic Radio and download the app. You can listen to Iowa Catholic Radio Talk or Iowa Catholic Radio Music. Listening to Iowa Catholic Radio is easy.
From Norwalk to Pleasantville and everywhere at iowacatholicradio.com or the Iowa Catholic Radio app. Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ.
And we're back here at Waukee Northwest High School. Third time we've been out here to broadcast game. Beautiful facility on homecoming for Waukee Northwest. But Dowling the winner tonight, 21-14. The Maroons overcame a 14-7 halftime deficit to win it. 21-14. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and Brian Morris. We get set for our post-game show, and Brian's got a couple players, and Matt's getting some of the scores. So Mr. Brian Morris, will go right down to you as you have Ryan Bobo and Trey Wilson. We'll start with you and Mr. Bobo. Take it away, Brian.
Yeah, Ryan, we were calling your name a lot tonight. You put a lot of effort into the game. Tell me a little bit about the halftime speech, because your defense came out with a lot of fire.
Yeah, well, we just decided we started off slow. Once we started playing with some more heart, we picked it up, and we got the job done.
You were in the backfield a lot tonight. Was that stunting going on or just doing some reads?
There's a lot of stunting with the D-line. We've always talked about how we want those stunts to look. And once it started working, we started making plays.
Mark and Matt?
I'd say, Ryan, this is Coach Maynard upstairs, and I know you finally look healthy.
Yeah.
Is that right? I mean, you started the season, you were dealing with a little bit of an injury. Do you feel like you're 100% right now?
Yeah, basically every week it's just kind of been slowly getting better. But, yeah, tonight was kind of the night.
Yeah, you played well tonight.
Thank you.
Ryan, what a game you've had. And let's talk about your position coach, Mr. Fontana, and who's the other guy that helps him out?
Coach Perriott.
Oh, are those two fun to work with and practice every day?
Absolutely. They bring so much energy, and they inspire me so much. They're great coaches.
You know, that's a key word, because the guy holding the microphone, Brian Morris, he didn't see that energy last week. He saw it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep bringing it. Stay healthy and have a great junior year.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any shout-outs there, Mr. Bobo, to anybody you know? They're in their cars now, waiting to get out of here. So you can speak up.
They're in the what? Sorry.
They're in their vehicles, waiting to get out of here in the parking lot.
Yeah, no, just my family, my friends, girlfriend, everybody else.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, in the day they would always say, "Hi, Mom," right?
I don't know what happened. I don't know. That was Brian Morris with Ryan Boble, Dowling's defensive lineman, just a junior, had a tremendous game. Let's go back down the field. And Brian Morris with a young man who showed his moves. We knew he'd get in the open field, and that's with Trey Wilson, the coach's son. Ryan, take it away with Trey Wilson.
Trey, you had a nice catch there. Then you made one move, made the defender, then you cut back. Talk to me about that play. What were you seeing?
You know, I just knew I was going to get an opportunity after I saw the play call. They called my number, and I just had to make a play.
Talk about the fireness coming out at halftime. I thought you guys came out defensively and offensively a lot more energy.
You know, we just came off the bus flat. We got to the locker room, started talking, got our leaders to get energy going, and just came out fast.
I mean, you know, going into the season, every week's going to be a tough game, and this is no exception tonight. This Waukee Northwest team, again, comes in 1-2. Talk to me about the week in, week out, just what you guys are facing.
Well, I mean, for sure. We don't think we're just the big dog coming in here. I mean, Northwest is a great team. They had us in the first half. We just had to come, work, get better as the game went on, and came out with a victory.
Mark and Matt?
Trey, one thing I noticed coming out at halftime, I saw your leadership. I saw you going out there and getting everybody fired up. And talk about that from being a leader on this football team.
You know I'm a senior. I'm a captain. I've been playing since my sophomore year. These guys I know look up to me, look up to the other leaders like Rashad Davis. And, you know, we had to get the team going. People like Ian Middleton, we just had to get the team fired up and ready to go.
Well, it showed coming out of the half.
All right, Trey, I got one question. It's about your health. How much pickle juice have you consumed in the last 48 hours?
I've never drank pickle juice in my life. I've tried, and it's terrible. I stick to my liquid IV and water.
Liquid IV and water.
Liquid IV and water.
Okay.
Hey, look at your sister. She's getting pictures of you there. You got a family shot right there.
I figured she would. She just came back from Arkansas this weekend.
Yeah.
Iowa Arkansas State game.
So. Oh yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Well, Trey, anybody you want to give a shout out to besides your dad and sister who are in front of you, but anybody else maybe in the parking lot trying to leave?
Shout out the O-line. They keep working, keep getting better every day.
Well, great job, great leadership. Keep up the energy. We want to see that next week during homecoming week.
Yes, sir.
All right, Trey Wilson.
All right, have a good weekend,
us.
Trey.
Thank you, too.
That's Trey Wilson, Dowling's receiver, who caught a 56-yard touchdown pass that broke the game open from Parker DePhillips with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter and gave Dowling the victory 21-14 thanks to Trey Wilson. And now Brian Morris says his dad, head coach Tom Wilson, win number 201 at Dowling. How about that for the record books? He don't care about that. Brian, I'll leave it to you.
Coach, I noticed coming out at halftime, there must have been a heck of a speech because I thought this team came out with a heck of a lot more energy in that second half.
They did. I may have got a little animated there at halftime, but I thought we needed it. And you got to play this game with passion, and you only get so many chances. And I just thought we were letting an opportunity go away, and these guys think that this is going to last a lifetime, and it's not. You've got a short time in your life to try to show all the work that you've put in, and I just didn't think we were doing that.
What stood out in the second half to you? Because we talked at halftime, you said maybe the offense wasn't performing up to its standards. What did you see in the second half?
We owned the line of scrimmage, and I thought we ran the ball very well. And, you know, everybody knows about Shad, but Ian was doing a great job of blocking in there. Schmolbach got in there and did some blocking, and Cohen Shelton quietly gets some key runs in there for us as well.
All right, Matt or Mark?
Coach, it was no doubt about it. You were going to come out of halftime and run the football because you could tell going into half you hadn't had very many carries. And talk about that offensive line and how they've matured.
They really have. You know, a freshman, 2 sophomores, and you've got a junior in Miller, and then the old man Carter Smith. And, you know, he's kind of the leader of the group, obviously, but you know, I don't want to forget Jacob Peterson either because, you know, he does a bunch of dirty work there at tight end, and you know, one of these days we'll throw him the ball. But he's done a really good job for us as well. And then we use another freshman in there once in a while, Evan Mitchell. So they're maturing. We still got work to do. Consistency is an issue, and that goes with young football teams. And you know, we got to do a better job on offense. I thought defensively we played our tail off again. We gave up some big pass plays, which they've got some athletes, and the quarterback did a good job of getting to him. But in the second half, we got after him a little bit, and then those completions weren't as easy to come by.
You made an adjustment at halftime, too, defensively. I saw a lot more cover 2 in that second half.
You did. And that's Adam Jack all the way. I mean, if he could play cover 2 every down, he would. But that's just our safe spot, and our kids feel most comfortable in that. And we were able to, keep some guys over the top of those guys. Barreto, honestly, we weren't sure if he was even going to play. Miller as well, and then Barreto comes up with a big interception.
Well, Coach, a comment out of me is you made him one-dimensional, especially in the second half where you pitched the shutout, but you really took the running game away and forced him to go through the air.
We did. Really proud of that, and we got a big play out of our offense, which really sparked us, which was also huge.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time once again on the postgame show. Way to spoil another team's homecoming here at Waukee Northwest, and best of luck against Roosevelt next week and Dowling's homecoming.
Yeah, not very often do we get to play 2 in a year, so we'll take advantage of it.
All right, Coach. Thanks for visiting.
Thank you.
Heads coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic following the Maroons win 21-14 over Waukee Northwest here at Waukee Northwest High School. And Matt Maynard, before we go to break, you've got to look at some scores while our listeners, and most of them are in the parking lot trying to get out, are in their vehicles.
An exciting game over at Ankeny Centennial. And Ankeny Centennial was driving late in the football game down 21-13, and Southeast Polk held them out on the last play of the game inside the 5-yard line. Thanks, Rob Ryan, for the update. And so Southeast Polk defeats Ankeny Centennial 21-13. And the last score I had from Valley was up on Waukee 35-25. And I didn't see a Johnston score since halftime, so that was still 7-0. But that one should be over now as well.
And that means all the teams above have a loss. Yeah. So Waukee
Valley
gets their first loss. Centennial gets their first loss tonight. Dowling moves to 3-1. Valley moves to 3-1. Yeah, so there's a couple of first time. I'm not sure what Bettendorf and Linn-Mar did tonight. They were also undefeated in Class 5A. So a couple teams around here in the CIML. It all balances out. Matt?
Bettendorf and Linn-Mar, it's 17-16. Bettendorf by a point in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. So, and then the other update, the only score I had was at the half. Ames was up on Roosevelt, our next appointment, 35-13.
And Bettendorf and Linn-Mar again are undefeated. So one of those teams is going to come out. There'll only be one team left undefeated in Class 5A. That's the balance we see, and what a tough win it is here on the road for Dowling tonight. 21-14 the final of the Maroons. Want to thank our sponsors. They include Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, Fast Signs, and Clive. Our thanks to Catholic Tuition Organization. And a reminder, Iowa Catholic Radio Fall Fundraiser coming up on October 1st through the 4th. Special programming that highlights the very best of local and national educators, apologists, and evangelizers. The theme, it takes all of us to teach, defend, and evangelize. You can donate now at iowacatholicradio.com. Your tax deductible donation is welcome at iowacatholicradio.com. And we'll take our final break, 1-minute break, and wrap things up. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and Brian Morris here from Waukee Northwest High School. The final, Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14. Back in 1 minute. Final thoughts on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
I was actually raised in the Catholic Church. I went to grade school through 6th grade, and pretty much about the time I went to high school, I stopped attending church and really didn't think much more about it for a number of years. The return to church, the Catholic Church, was somewhat of an evolution. I thought I knew what the Catholic Church believed and taught, but learned very quickly from somebody who knew far more about the Bible than I ever hoped to know. I learned that the Catholic Church, what it truly taught, and that's where I needed to be. I'm a recovered alcoholic and drug addict. Without God in my life, I'd probably be dead. God has literally saved my life. I feel like I'm truly on the road to the fulfillment of really all of my desires, which is ultimately to spend eternity in heaven with myself and my family.
If you've been away from the Catholic Church for whatever reason, we invite you to take another look. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today.
Hey, welcome back to Waukee Northwest High School. Thanks to all the folks out here that helped us with our broadcast tonight, as usual, Athletic Director Jim Dewey and his athletic assistant, Wendy Ritzmeyer and company. Our thanks to Waukee Northwest High School football coach Corey Kapatich and his staff. Appreciate all their assistance with tonight's game, getting us set up. Mark Emmerdale alongside Brian Morris, who's made his way up to the press box, and Matt Mainring. Dowling winner tonight, 21-14 over the Wolves. And Matt, next week is Dowling's homecoming, but a lot of things going on this weekend. So we'll start with the Dowling girls and boys cross-country teams. They're at the GRIAC Invitational up at the University of Minnesota, where the Iowa Hawkeyes play tomorrow night. Brian, just so you know, 6:30 kickoff against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. You can watch that from Denver. They do have TV out there in Denver, but
ain't happening.
I didn't think so. But the boys and girls cross-country teams up there, and I know my daughter will be running cross-country for the JV girls in Pella tomorrow. I got a date at about 11 o'clock on the square after the meet.
There you go.
With some Dutch letters. That's just me and my cravings on Saturday morning. But take it away, Matt. There's a lot of stuff going on with homecoming week coming up.
A lot of stuff going on. The Powder Puff football game next week. I believe it's on Monday. And, you just have all these events that go on during the week of homecoming week. It's a lot of fun. They were starting to decorate some things at the end of the school day today.
Powder Puff game. Now, who are the celebrity coaches? I understand that used to happen. I heard there might be a Miklo, there might be a Maindring out there with a play sheet. And, they got all the colored cards. Brian, I mean it. They got all these colored cards, and they got plays. Run left, run right, and then run on.
Well, I think Coach Maindring will get back out. And
I think so, too. I've heard that they're celebrity coaches.
No.
Okay.
That's a bad rumor.
Maybe my daughter. It might be the other Maindring out there.
Oh, that could be. I forget that. But go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, we have a lot of things going on, and dress-up days every week. It's just a fun week for the kids and the faculty to get engaged and to do all the things that we do. I do want to mention, our volleyball team lost a tough match on Tuesday night, but that was the first time I got to see them in person this year. And you talk about two heavyweights going at it. They were throwing punches at each other all night long. And
I had to work late, really and I came home and watched it on CISN, and Andy Pollock with the call. Yeah. What a crowd!
What a crowd!
That was a great crowd for a volleyball match on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, you had those two teams are going to run into each other on the trail, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Number one is Ankeny Centennial, and number 3 Dowling at the Dowling gym, packed. Love that enthusiasm.
The energy was great, and Coach Wiskus has done a good job, and those girls are performing at a high level. There's no doubt about it.
All right, we got homecoming, and we're going to go through the homecoming candidates for the folks that are. The parking lot's still full. They're listening, and
for the Hall of Fame.
This is the Athletic Hall of Fame for Dowling, inducted next Friday, and then they'll be recognized on the field at Valley Stadium. Christian Clemis, Christian Bliss, Tom Donahue. I never heard of him. Have you, Brian?
I think he's been around since dirt out there.
Yeah. 75 grad. Okay. Jonathan Fifke, swimmer. Jake Hummel, 2017 grad. Caitlin Fuller, now Caitlin Parrott, 2011 grad. Isaiah Patton, 2015 grad. Jackson Teeling, the head soccer coach at Dowling. Jackson Teeling, 2009 grad. And John Wagner, Wags, 2018 grad. Those are the 8 that are going into the Athletic Hall of Fame next Friday, and that is a nice and very a good group, Matt.
That's a great group. I guess I've been here long enough now because I recognize some of those people. After 10 years, I guess I
recognize
got some. Yeah,
I saw Jake Hummel. I called games here. He was an animal here. But I saw him this year watching the Cyclone game, of course, at Colin Cowles downtown or whatever it's called when they have the NCAA tournament.
Coles Commons.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. But that kid he's a V. His waist is about 32 and his shoulders are 58, and it's just unbelievable. And that's a NFL linebacker right there.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he got on a team.
Yeah, he's on the Rams, I believe.
Is that where he's at now?
Rams or the Chargers? I know he was out west somewhere and done real well.
Jake Hummel, he went to that school up north, didn't he? When he went to college.
He did go to Ames.
Yeah,
you want to change stuff? You can talk about Wags and then.
John Wagner.
I was giving Brian his little avenue there.
No, you're
gave him just like Rashad did. Rashad just needs a little bit of a crease before he goes through. I gave it to you. Let's go talk about John Wagner and Iowa.
Yeah, no. John had a great career at Dowling and a great career at Iowa, and And I guess we're live. We're live.
We're
lights on.
Live on radio. They haven't turned the scoreboard off right away, but everything else is on.
No, it's a great group. And my daughter played soccer with Caitlin Parrott, whose husband was Dalton Parrott, who we called games. So yeah, you and I are old here, Mark, because we know all these people.
You know, Tom Donahue does a great job for our athletic programs. Always involved.
He is.
He does a tremendous job, and I've been really impressed getting to know Jackson Teeling and watching him grow our soccer program, and being a state contender now year in and year out. So it's just a lot of fun to see some of these people come back and give back in various ways.
And that'll be athletic recognition for the Hall of Famers next Friday afternoon at Dowling. They'll have their ceremonies, and then, of course, that'll carry over to the game Friday night as Dowling takes on Roosevelt for homecoming. 6:30 will be on the air with 7 o'clock kickoff, so hope you tune in. And sounds like a fun, busy week, but Mr. Mainring is not one of the celebrity powder puff coaches. It must be his daughter and the coaching staff. So
I don't know.
I can't wait to see practice because I know they have practice before their big game on Thursday night.
Is your daughter playing?
She's on a team, I believe.
I got
yeah. Well, there you go. Then you should coach.
Yeah,
I think you just walked into that.
First of all, I haven't been asked, and I'm going to walk around the block there if that ever happens. So, Brian, you have any? You got your big event next?
I will
weekend?
be. I think we've got Taylor Bennett taking over next week, but the Dowling class of '84 is having our 40th year reunion next Friday night at Blank, and then on Saturday night, X Live, where we have a band. Some guys in our class played in a band when we were in high school.
Okay.
And they would play parties, or maybe keggers we called them back in the day. And
my ears are closed. I didn't hear that.
They are they're coming back together, and they're having the reunion of the band on Saturday night at a venue over in the Drake neighborhood. I should know it, but it'll be fun. Then we have Mass, of course, on Sunday with Father Dan Kirby was in our class, so he's saying Mass for us with the class of 2004 with Father Ryan.
So who do I talk to about the bigger budget that your class?
No, trust me. Jenny Farrell and I from the Jenny Farrell team, of course, we just made a video yesterday about the class. Like, hey guys, we need your money to pay the caterers ahead of time, and so no.
But the band's volunteer band because they're members of your class,
they're volunteering,
right?
and they're exactly.
They'll take tip money, man.
Yeah. Tip money, pass the hat around. No, it'll be great. We hope we would like to see a lot of people back, but you get 100, 150, we'll see.
40 years.
Trust me.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Does everybody have directions to Blank? Because I think some of your classmates have never been on the South Side. I'm just saying, I'm talking out loud, but I think
No. When I went there, Mark, there was a lot lot of people from the South Side.
Okay, well, then you're in good shape.
We'll be good. And, and I think
they'll figure it out.
I would love to see Coach Bob Nizzi come back, but we'll see if he would make a surprise visit.
We talked about that as teachers and coaches. I always said it'd be nice if the kids invited us into one of the
exactly
because as alumni, sometimes you want to see some of those teachers to have some conversation.
Well, his son Bob Jr.'s in our class. He's coming back for it, so I said maybe you can get your dad to come back, but we'll see how it happens.
Well, good luck with that.
Hey, thanks. It'll be fun.
Coach Nizzi is a legend at Dowling, and that was one of my counselor and head football coach, so loved it. All right, guys, any final thoughts? We had a great game tonight. Maroons had to pull one out in the second half as they shut out Waukee Northwest and scored 2 touchdowns, a win by a touchdown, and moved to 3-1. Northwest moves to 1-3, and Dowling taking on Roosevelt next Friday night. We'll have it on Iowa Catholic Radio.
I think the big thing was in the second half, this team learned how to play with some emotion. As Coach said, some passion. And if you want to contend, you have to play with that energy. And they didn't have it in the first half. They figured they can just walk out here and have it happen. You have to bring it. And they brought it in the second half. They played like a team that wants to contend and can contend in the second half.
Right. Well, I think they had that a little bit last week too, and they came out and again, I said it last week. You get 9 opportunities to do this, and
That's true.
You got to come out with that energy every week because it's over in a heartbeat, and it's going to be November before you know it, and you never will play football again.
And that's sometimes happens with young teams.
Yeah.
And they Maroons beat Cedar Rapids, Kennedy, and Valley, and maybe they're a veteran team, and then Ankeny showed about playing with passion and kind of, through the first punch last week, and the Maroons never recovered. And now this week you saw a little bit of that in the first half, and the Maroons figured it out at halftime and in the second half and pitched the shutout and got the win. So this team is a young team and growing, and sometimes we're going to see that. But
as you said, everybody's losing, everybody's beating up. I mean,
Everybody
there's
with a
not
loss.
an easy week in Central Iowa, and the top-tier teams, it's going to be a dogfight come November.
And the seeding is on the line for the postseason, so we'll see a lot of these teams. All right, gentlemen, thank you.
All right,
and,
thanks, Mark.
Brian, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have
Yes.
a great reunion with your class. 40 years, hard to believe. All right, that'll wrap up our broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio from Waukee Northwest. Again, our thanks to our hosts, the folks out here at Waukee Northwest High School, Jim Dewey, the athletic director, Randy Witzmeyer, and all the folks behind the scenes. Our thanks to head coach Corey Kapatich. And our next broadcast on Iowa Catholic Radio is next Friday night, September 27th, Des Moines Roosevelt at Dowling. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. It'll be Dowling's homecoming and Hall of Fame induction from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. And join Matt Mandring and Taylor Bennett along with me next Friday night. Again, the final score, final time, Dowling 21, Waukee Northwest 14. The Maroons move to 3-1 in Class 5A. Waukee Northwest falls to a record of 1-3. For our studio producer, Brady Grimm, I'm Mark Amadale, thanking you for listening. And from all of us here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, have a safe and blessed, faith-filled weekend.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, Blessman International, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.